Everybody leveled up, right?
Yep.
Should be level 3.
Oh, 3 shit.
Yeah, I rolled crap for hit points. I rolled a 3. Thank God for a +3 in con, so I actually got 6 hit points. I thought for sure I was going to go over 30.
That'd be really cool.
Not quite.
I have one small, minor complaint that I feel like I need to vocalize now before we go on air. I've been fucking loving this game so much that I've been trying to take note. Like, I'm fucking doing more writing during this than I did in grade school. But for some reason, I forget things, and I can't go back and check the video because Morgan only has 4 fucking video clips.
I gotta upload them.
Well, I'm like, I want to happen to my character, and it's like, fuck, I can't.
Yes, I know, I'm guilty. So, I have them all saved, but I just... Getting the time to get them over into YouTube is...
Right. I also have notes.
Impressive.
My wife's like, what are you doing, studying for a job? I'm like, no, I'm playing my game.
Right. Doing stuff way cooler than that.
I know, I got like... I was just looking on the other day because I uploaded all of my Planescape Lamentations games and got them set, and all of my Curse of Strahds, and this one was next. I think I got 6 or 7 sitting on my computer I got to upload. So.
Yeah, we're on session like 12 right now, I think.
Yeah.
He only has 4.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Actually, if you want to get technical, I have 6 on there. It's just 2 are private, and only I can watch. Good shit.
Makes it worse, I gotta tell you.
All right. Let's see. Recap of last session. I took good notes last session, so what do we got? All right. Let's see. You guys started out heading away from the caravan that was led by Dara. She, along with Goran and Clyde, the goat, stayed behind to fight for the people who were left. Majority of the trip back to Baldur's Gate remained mostly uneventful. You got there, dealt with some of the people at the gate and stuff, headed into the city. Let's see. Man, we skipped last week, so trying to see where we left off here. You guys got into the city. Sadeka showed up, talked to him. Was that 2 sessions ago, or was that last session?
That was last session. I think we blew off the guard because he wanted us to fire on all the...
Yes. It just feels like that was 2 sessions. No. I'm like thinking that was 2 sessions ago. I keep thinking we played last week. Okay, so yeah. You guys, they had the people that were burning up the wagons trying to get into the city. The whole place was just a huge chaotic mess outside. Krieg, you ended up finding just one of the guards doorways in the wall itself and got them through. They kind of recruited you onto them, asking you to fire onto them, and you guys noped out of that. Noped out of that. Old Man Murray took you guys to the Elf Song Tavern for a long-awaited rest. You got some food, got some drink, and got some rest there. You awoke to the song, or to the ghost. You awoke to the ghost of Elf Song and Elven Maiden singing, but it wasn't the song that was normally sung for the past 130 plus years. During that time, it was always the same song. This time it was different. It was singing a song about Elturel, which Mithra apparently very quickly translated for you all as the ghost sang. But in either case, or maybe she just knew the whole song and sang it for you. But seemed to be something about the city itself being lost and a little bit about the past of it and such. I believe I put it over into the chat at one time, but I can do it again if needed. Mentioned the Hell Riders, which Malachi spoke up. He had heard about the Hell Riders himself, and there was a woman that overheard you, Malachi. Her name was Tarina. She was a half-elven sailor. She introduced herself, flirted with you a little bit. Murray knew her as well. He said that she was not the most trustworthy person, but a nice enough person and good for the eyes. The group headed off to the address that Krieg had on his notes. It also had a hand-drawn picture of Mithra on one side and then this address on the other. It turned out to be the Wachter House Amber Bath House. That is where you met the Lamra Vindholt, who pointed you towards her son Mortlock, who seemed to be his writing or something that would have given you this invitation, Krieg. She mentioned that he always hangs out down at the Bloody Stool. I believe, Quinn, you had some run-ins with the Vinholtz yourself, so you kind of warned everybody that it might not be the best to press your luck here in this case. She also was holding or wearing one of the Lords of Baldur's Gate's emblems on her robe that she had on. For those of you that were familiar with the city, the last you knew, you never heard of her before, so in between when you left the city until now, apparently somewhere during that time she had become a Lord of Waterdeep. As you guys decided to split up at the end of the session, Quinn and Mithri, you guys headed to the library, do a little bit of research. I think Mithri had a couple spells you were grabbing and stuff. And then Malachi and Krieg, you guys were headed to the Bloody Stool to see if you could find this Mortlock fellow who was said to visit the place regularly. I don't see any major other points in there. Yeah, unless you guys want to add anything.
Malachi tried to talk his way into the bathhouse as one of the dukes of the city, not realizing that they were such an important thing, and might have created a fun circumstance for himself later on.
Yes. All right, cool. So we will pick it up with Mithra and Quinn, you guys. I know we had a bit of a side chat where you made a couple rolls and stuff going, but it's up to you guys. What information were you looking at in this library? What were you trying to study up on and learn about and all that good stuff?
Are we doing a flashback first, or?
Oh, shoot, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, Joe. Why don't you give us a flashback of old Krieg? Good call.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. All right. As Malachi and Krieg make their way through Lower Baldur's Gate to the Bloody Stool, the smells of fish and salt fill the air. The masts of ships come into view, and Krieg is taken back to the deck of the Amber Star beneath the night sky with a full moon shining down. This night, he stood watch while the crew was carousing and spending their pay on cheap grog and whores. Krieg was never good at stealth. Anger and the thrill of a fight were always his dance floor, but he knew the ship well enough to stick to her shadows. And here from the shadows he watched as a hooded figure slipped quietly from the captain's cabin and off the Amber Star. The thief rushed from shadow to shadow along the docks, and Krieg followed. This brigand will be dragged back to the ship, living or dead, and whatever was stolen would be returned to the captain. Krieg followed this small figure through the streets, hoping to catch them selling whatever they had taken. He watched as the thief met with larger folks, 5 of them, no doubt part of some gang. They slipped out of the Lower Baldur's Gate and into the wilderness. Krieg knew that if they made it back to their hideout, he wouldn't be able to get back the stolen goods. He had to strike now, beneath the trees. In the deep shadows of the full moon, Krieg roared and swept upon them. He cut 2 of the thieves down before they knew what was going on. Sorry for the paper. The moon glinted like silver on his sword as he opened the third man's stomach, spilling his guts across the mushroom-covered ground. Krieg took a cut to the arm. It burned with poison. He could already feel it clouding his mind. Then he saw the thief, cowering at the base of a tree. Krieg drove his blade up through a 4th man's jaw and into his skull as he pushed forward. He brought his blade down in a wide arc, cutting across the thief's body from shoulder to hip. "I am Krieger Conic Ironheart, you filthy thief! By the honor of the Amber Star, I'll take your fucking head!" he screams. Then she fell into the moonlight, dropping a small doll she had held, a child. Her face was calm and beautiful, golden hair spilling out like a radiant flame of righteousness around her pale head. The blood began spreading like wings beneath her. Krieg heard his skull crunch and crack before he realized he had been hit from behind. He had forgotten the 5th man, and the mace that struck him crushed half his face and pushed his eye most of the way out of his socket. His vision faded in and out. Colors swirled as the poison mixed with the head trauma. In that moment, the moon caught the pool of blood beneath the dead child and shined like blazing wings. With the glow of the moon, as Krieg fell, the image of the girl stayed with him, floating before him in a halo of light. Tales of fairies from when he was a child danced through his mind, and this girl was surely their queen with the brilliant wings and the moon-white dress. This dream state lasted for months, all throughout his trial. This child, this queen of fae, speaking to him. You have committed crimes against this royal court. Your title of Marine shall be stripped from you. For the life you took, your own is now payment. You are property, no name to call your own. You are now a slave to this family, a slave with no name. Creed reaches up and wipes his leaky eye. Aye, Malachi, the bloody stool is just here around the corner.
Beautiful. All right. And yeah, we will swing back over to the two of you in a moment as you can see the huge ships closing in on the harbor, just ramshackle buildings all along the docks, the smell of fish, salt, seaweed, piss and urine and stale ale. But first, Quinn and Mithra, what research have you been doing?
Yeah, sorry that we slacked on that. I actually completely forgot.
Slackers, I tell you.
I in particular want to look up devils, and the origins are particularly true names. Leo Flametongue. I want to see if he's a devil in particular or just a grunt, and just that stuff in general would be one of the things that I want to check out.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
All right. Do I do that advantage since me and Mithra are working together?
Yeah, that works. Yep.
All right. Nice 19.
So,
and you can do the same thing you did last time if you want. We'll just give like a summary and then send us stuff later when you have time, since we dropped.
Yeah. You're not going to find a whole lot on Leo himself. It doesn't seem like he's any sort of devil of particular importance. But you do find out both there's devils and there's demons. I'm sure Quinn and Mithra would have some kind of knowledge that the two of them are two sides of the same coin, but they're one's more lawful, one's chaotic, and there's just constant war between the two. For the devil side, though, there's beings called contractors. They are devils who are free to move between hell, the different layers of hell, and the prime realm. And basically it is their job to go out, get people under contract for whoever it is they work for, which could be a multitude of different higher archdevils of different sorts. Belial's one common one, Asmodeus obviously way at the top, Zariel, and different archdevils all the way down the line. It's most likely what it is. A lot of the flame tongues, and there's quite a few other lineages that you might come across. They're all just contractors. They're not necessarily grunts. They're quite conniving and quite powerful, but at the same time, it isn't their job to fight people or trap people or to get involved with the blood war or anything. It's their job to basically just go out and collect souls for their master. Or contracts. One and the same.
Cool. So my reason to believe would be that Leo is a contractor for sure then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I believe you said that we could get 3 topics that we wanted between the two of us, or between all of us. So one thing that I want to do, and then I'll let Rachel do the last thing, is I want to see if I can maybe head to the more restricted section of the library that I'm pretty fluent with, and see if I can find anything more on onomancy. 'Cause I know that's not the one of the 8 original schools of magic, and I know it's a lot rarer, and basically I want to see if there's anything that I can find. I know there's not really an onomancy kind of spell as per written, but
Right.
I just want to see if I can find anything to help me get better at it, or what I would need to do so, or stuff like that, which is kind of a really ambiguous one. So that's why I said if you want to just think about that for a while and let my roll, and then you can come back to me. Oh my god, I rolled a natural 20, so 27.
27. Okay. I did actually dig out some of my old 3rd edition stuff, and there's some onomancy stuff in there. The classes themselves aren't very good, but they have some cool powers and some cool spells.
Yeah.
So I think I'll start flirting with some of that and adding some of that to different things that you guys come across, so we can start giving you that background a little bit. But with the 27, I'll definitely send you a little bit of info on that.
Awesome. And then go ahead, Rachel, and ask the thing that you wanted to.
So between us, am I only allowed to research one topic right now then? Is that how this would work, or?
For the time that you have allotted, yes.
Okay. I'd like to do some research on the Hell Riders then.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Just
general stuff, or so I know.
I guess yeah, because we don't really know much about them. I guess like general stuff. Why they anything that would have to do anything that would be useful to know in an interaction with them. Maybe weaknesses as well, if that's something I could.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. Go ahead and give me a roll.
All right, and it's investigation, right?
Yep.
Alrighty. Let me just sweet. I got a good investigation here. Ooh. All right, 17 plus 5, so unnatural 23.
All right.
Or 22, sorry.
5, so the originality or the origin of the Hell Riders is about 140 years ago, give or take a little bit. You're going to learn that there was a being, a mistress, she called herself the Mistress of the Halo, who took over in the city of El Terrell. She believed very strongly that the deities, the lawful gods, needed to intervene in the blood war between demons and devils. In turn, because she had this intense reaction and this belief that they needed to be involved in this, they did not, however. The deities did not. They felt it was something that was below them. It was to be concerned with the demons and devils, let them kill each other and fight it out. It was of no concern. Her belief was that it would overflow into the prime realm and destroy the worlds. Because of that, she basically just said screw off and left on her own, becoming a fallen angel. She ended up in the city of El Terrell, and that's one of the reasons it's been known as this great holy city, is it was sort of, she wasn't a ruler or anything, but she was this very prominent figure who was an angel, or a diva, that came into the city, and she created this large army that she called the Hell Riders. It was their job to ride to hell and just put an end to this blood war, be it taking out the demons or the devils. She had no qualms with either. She just wanted to end the war. It was the summer of the year 1354, which had been about 140 years, well, like 137 years ago or so. That is when she led, it was called the March or the Ride. And that is when they all left El Terrell and descended into the first layer of hell called Avernus. From what you gather, the war went on there. There's not really any record that is known of what exactly happened in hell. But roughly a couple years later is when they emerged out of hell. This diva, Zaria, was not with them. But what was left is just a few Hell Riders who were pretty much just absolutely insane and racked with fear and horror and pretty much crazy. Those ones, everybody sort of shunned and hid away, but they also, their generations that went from there that started building in El Terrell, this military force, took on the same name, the Hell Riders, since that was their namesake. That was what the city was known for. The Hell Riders of today, our generations past, are not any part of those who went into hell, but that's just they've basically taken on that same persona of looking to eliminate evil in any way, shape, or form by any means necessary.
Cool.
They are your typical goody two-shoe knights in shining armor, lawful abiding, don't break the rules kind of people. Love them or hate them.
So they're pretty neutral. They just claim to be against evil.
Yep, that's their big thing, is just eliminating evil, but they often have that issue where what one person believes is evil, another may not, and vice versa. It's their strict guidelines and their strict order and nothing else. They define what is good and bad.
Well, that was some few hours we spent studying Mithra. Maybe we should go find the boys or get something to eat. I'm starving.
Yeah, let's get something to eat and something to smoke. I think I've got all the information that I can write down for now.
Yeah, we can come back another time as long as we're here anyways.
Yeah, I think that was very productive.
Excellent. So as you guys finish up and get some food and start making your way to where Krieg may have sent you, the camera will pan over to the two of you, Krieg and Malachi, as you make your way through these slum-ridden streets. There will be drunks passed out in gutters, kids running about. You know, most of them are urchins and pickpockets, so you can hold your pockets close to your body and try to stay out of their throngs. You can hear the screams of people arguing, fish being slapped on hulls, and people with hooks moving around these huge crates of ice and fish. You can see it there, Mad Krieg. You've been there before, the Bloody Stool. It's actually an old ship that has been dragged up onto land. It still reeks of fish and salt and seaweed. The hull itself has a huge crack in it that now acts as the doorway into the main room, and the whole underside of the ship has been turned into, perhaps one time it might have been a nice bar. Now it's more of a shithole than anything, but you can see it there. Most of the masts are all rotted away, just hang in tatters. The crow's nest sits up at the top, but you can see it's just filled with, oddly enough, a pair of crows that caw and squawk at you as you pass by below. You will notice also the seagulls. They're everywhere here, but all around the ship, they're dead. Just dozens of seagulls laying dead on the ground. Inside, you can hear the voices of people chattering stuff. Sounds like, a handful of people in there.
I would recommend, if you're going to have something to eat, don't get the fish and chips. Unless you really want to find out why we call this place the Bloody Stool.
Fucking place smells like goddamn fucking fish. You want to eat fish and chips when I walk into a... Holy fuck.
Smells like a right bit of heaven.
Yeah. Heaven. Sure.
At least I think it did.
Let's find this fucking guy, man.
Aye.
I'm just gonna burst through the doors like a fucking asshole. Like, here I am.
It'll swing open, nearly pull itself off the hinges. You can hear it squeal and squeak on the rusted bits of metal. Inside, it's just this thick clog of smoggy smoke, people with cigars and pipes, cigarettes. The food, or what is of it, looks to be kind of similar to the seagulls that are dead outside. Might not be the best food to eat. Then there's this woman behind the counter. You'll recognize her, Krieg. She goes by Captain, but her real name is Lorella Thundreth. But she much prefers that you call her Captain. And she'll quickly be serving up this just pints of ale out of a bucket behind her. You can see it's probably piss warm at best and smells the same. There's a handful of people in there. As you kind of glance around, it's longer, oblong shaped, being that it's in the hull of the ship. On the right-hand side, as you come through the door and you look down, there's a large fireplace that's been built at one time. Most of it's crumbling down now, but two chairs on either side of it, and both of them have a guy that's passed out of them, sort of drooling on himself. Otherwise, there's a pair of drow twins who sit off to the side, just quietly between each other, whispering. They'll glance up in your direction, but not really give you any more thought after that, and then go back to talking. You can see a dwarf sitting at the bar, along with this very odd-looking... She's human, but her heritage, you're not quite sure. Sort of olive-toned skin. She has her head shaved, besides just a bit of hair on the side that hangs down in a braid. She has this really strange-looking sword on her back that's sort of curved a little bit. Nothing quite familiar. And then you'll see a halfling that is running about here and there. He has a bucket full of fish that he's just taken out and given to people. Like sardine-type fish.
Fucking halflings. Creepy little bastards.
I remember you love those guys, don't you?
Oh, aye. They're a bundle of joy.
Here, you know what?
Box.
Let's start with this. And I'm going to flick a gold piece to the barmaid. And, hey, sweetheart, why don't you start a tab for me, my friend, and that beautiful woman right there. And I'm going to look at the crazy bald chick with the... Give her a wink.
Going behind the counter quickly, nabs up your coin, drops it in the purse, slides a couple ales onto the counter. It smells horrid, not something you'd want to drink, but slides them over anyway. Gives you a bit of a smirk beyond that as she goes off and starts working on some other stuff and wiping down the counter with this greasy, dirty rag that she has. Not really doing much besides smearing the dirt around. This woman, she'll look at you, Malachi, stare at you, up, down a little bit, and just give a little bit of a snort.
Hey, beautiful. You drink on me tonight.
As long as you're buying, keep on serving it. I'll drink all night long.
What's your name, gorgeous?
Give me a perception check, Malachi.
Oh, crap.
More importantly, where did you find a blade like that? It's kind of like a slice of moon or something. I've never seen nothing like it.
A 14.
13. She'll smirk. She glances over her shoulder to Krieg for a second. Just, it was my father's. My father's before him. My father's before him. Don't touch it.
Care for a trade?
And as you look at her, Malachi, she'll have this smirk come across her face. Says, it's best if you don't call me gorgeous. Don't call me pretty thing. Just call me by my name. Hitachi. And you can feel this sharp prick, this point, and as you glance down, you can see this curved blade she has in her hand, right up against the side of your crotch.
Playing the games I like tonight, aren't you, sweetheart?
I shall castrate you where you are without a worry. I've done it more than once. You hear this woman behind the bar laugh. She says, yes she has, yes she has. We have more dicks in the back than we do fish.
Kind of hoping you had other plans for that, but yeah, back off if that's the right move.
Slips this blade aside and takes a shot of whatever it is she's drinking before starting to sip on the ale. I'm not the one you want to talk to anyway.
That's right. Well, not for me. Him, he'll talk with your ear off all night. Penises can stay out of it. Or in it. It depends on what games you like to play. I've done enough help to you, Malachi.
You're really bad at this, aren't you?
Krieg just smiles, which twists that kind of large, swelled out eye even worse.
I don't play games. All I come here to do is drink before I go pass out.
All right, well, listen, if you're not willing to, play games with me, maybe you could answer a question or two. I'm just looking for this one guy. Maybe you saw him. What the fuck's his name again, Krieg?
Martlock? Martlock?
Yeah, something like that.
He's not very old. He would look unnaturally out of place right here. Like, clean.
I don't know who the hell you're talking about. Never heard of him in my life. Maybe you should ask the bartender. She knows the people better than I.
Turn back to the bartender. Yeah, this broad's off the tab tonight. So, you ever hear of some fucking Mardelock guy? Looks kind of clean, I guess. I don't know, something like that. And I'll be like, I'll probably only have a few. You can keep the rest of that for yourself.
She'll come over and puts her hands down and says, "No, what's it to you?"
Holy fuck, you want more than a fucking half a gold? Here's another fucking gold. Just tell me the fucking where the guy is.
She quickly slides those. You barely even see her hand flash out. She drops these into this little pouch on the side. She says, "I don't know where he is. I haven't seen him all day. You should ask his brother." She sort of juts her head over. You can see this very nicely dressed man off to the side. Hadn't noticed him when he came in. He's sort of around the corner a little bit from the doorway. His feet are propped up on the table as he leans back in a chair. He's got a small pouch of coins in front of him that he's flipping through. Doesn't really even give you guys a second. Doesn't even notice you. There's also 2 large men standing on either side of him, quite large. I wouldn't mention his brother, though, if I was you. He doesn't like him very much. But that's not my business. Have at it.
Well, don't worry. I am a master of subtlety.
Oh, fuck.
And Krieg goes walking on over to the clean guy. Probably smells of perfume.
He's quite handsome. He's quite tall, very well dressed in silks, and these noble chains kind of hang down around. You can see he's quite a man of importance. Black hair that's slicked over to the side, has a very nicely trimmed goatee that comes down to a point. These boots themselves look like they're probably worth more than your life, Krieg, as they're propped up on this table. And he'll quickly put his feet down and slides his chair up a little bit and looks up. Says, "What can I do for you? 10, 20, I don't guarantee higher than 150. What'll it be?"
Well, actually, I noticed the smell. That's what brought me over to begin with. And I can tell by looking at you that you're a man of impotence. It's just you're draping with it. But,
Importance.
Yeah, probably that too. But I'm looking for somebody. And I thought maybe you could help me since, well, you're kind of related. See, your brother, he sent me a thing looking for a person, which I found the person, and now I've come back to find out why the hell he wanted me to find them. But I found you instead.
So what do you want, then? If it's not gold or a loan, then how am I supposed to help?
Your brother, are you not listening, man?
Since I don't give a shit about what he's doing. Which one are you talking of?
Oh, Christ, how many do you have?
That is not of importance to you.
Right.
Sorry, impotence to you.
All right, I guess that's the matter that really stands up now, doesn't it? His name is Martelok.
Mortlock, yes.
Yeah, that's probably the guy. See, I spoke with your mother, and she said that I should come down here because she didn't like the thing.
Well, as I said, I have no interest in what that Goliath of a brute is doing. He is not of my importance. Unless you're here for a loan, then I suggest we part ways, dwarf.
Well, how much fucking money you willing to spend, buddy? Like, what's the biggest loan you got while you try to tell us where Mortlake is?
150 gold is the most that I lend.
And how long until I gotta pay it back?
A simple 10-day, 25% interest.
And what, you're gonna send these 2 groups to come and find me? And I'm gonna point to the 2 big guys beside them.
No, they're the small ones.
Wait, yeah. So you're telling me you'll give me or him 150 coins and you only want 25% of it back? That's like 15 pieces. Who the hell wouldn't take this deal up?
No, it does not work that way. 25% interest each day, but it's not paid back.
Well, if it's interest or if it's in your pocket, what does it matter? You're not making any sense.
An extra 15 gold for each day that you do not pay it back, on top of the 150.
Krieg kind of looks over at Malachi. I don't think this guy knows how to speak common right. He's all like addled.
His fucking math is horrible. I don't even want to talk to this son of a bitch anymore. Listen, just try to figure out where the fuck his brother is, man. Like, why is it taking so long? How hard is this fucking to do? More like, you got problems, man? Like, where's your brother?
No. I am Amric, not Mortlach, not that beastly ogre bitch.
Where's
Get
the
your
beast?
facts straight.
Holy shit, man. Where's your fucking brother?
I do not know where he is. I have had enough of this. I'm quite tired. Do you need a loan, or are you just here to beat your pud?
Look, he sent me a letter back in the Iron Scar, trying to get some drow brought to him.
What do I have to do with that? I have no care what he does.
Just point a direction where he is. Look, I'll take a loan if it'll make you answer the question better.
I don't give out money if you do not need it. Only for those that need it. I've already told you. I do not know where he is. If anything, he's probably below the bathhouse with one of his whores. That's where he likes to go in the downtime.
Oh, your mother is a fucking liar. Alright, this place
I've heard that before.
Yeah, okay, nice boots, man. I guess you're fucking pointless.
He says, what is it you want with this man? What are you going to do when you find my brother?
Nothing. Just fucking ask him a question. That's all. It's stupid piece of paper he's got, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, just ask some questions. Unless he pisses me off, which you're already starting to do. So if it's a family trait, who knows?
Just wait. So you're looking for my brother to go and ask him questions?
Aye.
Yeah.
You both look like shit. Do you need a bit of money? No interest? No payback? Maybe just a job?
Held a coin. I have not held a coin for 10, 15, maybe even 20 years.
What kind of a job you got?
He'll take out a couple coins and hands you 10 gold pieces. Krieg just sort of drops them with that chinkling sound into your palm. Says, feel the coin. You know, there's nothing like a bit of money in your pocket. The jingle, the weight of it, slapping against your thigh. Says it's power, Krieg. It's a way to stand above everybody else.
Oh hell, I do that all the time. Me and this sword here. Once I cut someone down, sure I'm standing above them.
But that only works as long as you don't find anybody better. Money always wins.
So what's the job?
Says, well, if my guess is correct, then that fat bastard is likely up in the bathhouse right now, wallowing with the whores in the fountains. Says, I don't know what it is that my mother has any love for him. Perhaps some sort of favoritism or some shit. But no, he's a conniving. I think he's out to get all of us, to bring us all into ruin. You know, I even heard that he's the one that called those demons creatures into El Terrell. So I tell you what, I'll buy you guys a nice new outfit, give you a bit of jink in your pockets, if you might maybe do a job for me. Just a simple knife in the back, if you get to my meaning.
You know, if you want me to kill your brother, you should have just said that, man. No problem.
Aye. For 10 gold and clothes? I've been wearing the same rags here for... that's not important. It's been a long time.
In fact, it'll be 50 gold apiece.
Oh shit.
I'd look at Krieg and be like, I'm in, man.
It's
Sounds
a
easy. We
simple
gotta talk to
matter.
this guy anyway.
Yeah. Fuck sure right. Count us in.
Says, I must warn you, he's quite a strong fellow. Eats people like you for breakfast. That's why we don't, do much. But if you're looking for a bit of coin and you're looking for the man anyway, maybe you can get your answers and do whatever you want from there. You bring me his hand, his left hand.
Oh, just a hand? Alright, I was figuring like a whole head, but alright, a hand is good.
And the money is yours. I'll even give you 20 gold right now. 20 gold each.
20 gold.
Why the fuck does he keep offering us more money? We said we do it for 10. All right, man. Yeah, we're in.
Right? And he's given us some fancy clothes. Like
And
the rest of the stuffed shirts.
And he told us for his brother. It's like, fuck, this guy's a sucker, man.
Right. So are these pretty clothes going to get us to walk into the bathhouse?
Well, that's the purpose, isn't it?
Oh, I've never seen a bathhouse.
This is not just anybody can walk into the bathhouse.
Oh, I know, they wouldn't have let us in.
Well, not the way you look, no. I'm surprised they let you into this shithole.
I've been coming here for decades. Oh, hell, clearing almost a century. Ish.
He will give you both 20 gold. He'll give you an address to get some fancy clothes down on this main street towards the bathhouse. And tell you to get yourselves looking nice. Just look for the fat man with a scar right down his face. What you call a childhood accident. Too bad it didn't drive a bit deeper.
I'll tell you what, I'll drive it deeper. I'll throw that in for free right there.
Hey, before we leave, man, you wouldn't happen to know anybody named Thaddeus Craig, do you?
Why, everybody knows the obvious. What's it to you?
It's just I heard rumors of his greatness, and I just wanted to figure out who he was. You know, it's just one of those things.
You must not be from around here.
It's been a while.
Well, I don't know much more, but he was the what you call the High Overseer of Elturel. Fat bastard, probably in hell now somewhere with the rest of them.
All right, thanks. See you.
Says, you got till the end of the day as he leans back and kicks his feet up.
Why? As we're walking out, that man is stupid as a brick. Paying us all that coin just to fucking kill a man. Can you believe that?
I thought we were gonna kill him anyway. Now we just got paid for it. This is pretty cool.
Right? That's not bad at all.
All right, let's go.
Good.
I'm actually really happy. Today is shaping out to be a great day. Smell of the salt air. Don't step in that. All right. Money in my pocket. I've not felt coin for a long time.
As you guys step out, maybe make a few steps down the steps and down the walkway, you're going to feel a heavy hand on your shoulder, sort of like at the scruff of your neck, both of you. They kind of put you to a stop for a moment as you turn around. You see this tall woman. She wears, looks like she has heavy metal type plate armor underneath, but she has a robe wrapped around her at the moment. This bright red hair. There's a sword on either hip that she has, and a shield on her back. You can see what looks to be an emblem or something underneath this robe, but you can't make it out. And she'll look at you, Krieg, for a second, almost like she's judging you. She just stares at you, this little bit of a sneer on her face, and looks over at you, Malachi. Says, what do you know of Thavius? Why are you asking about him?
Because we don't know a thing.
I did not ask you, dwarf.
Take your
I'm
fucking hands
speaking
off
to
my
this
friend.
man.
Take your hands off my friend, Harlot.
Malachi is going to, oddly enough, he's going to squint the right side of his face, which is where his eye used to be. So hopefully, like, something opens up and a little bit of blood comes out. And he's just going to stare at her and not say a word.
She'll glance at you for a second, Krieg, and sort of just shoves you back a little bit, holding on to the Malachi's vestment or whatever it is you're wearing. She says, I have ways of making you speak. What do you want of Thavius?
Heard he was the great leader of Elturel or something, you know. I just thought maybe he'd want some fucking help now that his place just fucking crumbled down around him.
Help from filth like you?
Oh, a judge book by a cover much, eh, bitch?
You can tell. Probably a paladin. Looking all stuffed and primp.
Probably a fucking hell rider or something.
He says, and what do you have against the Hell Riders? As she reaches down, you can see she puts her hand on this sword beside her. This robe that she has that we're covering over her opens up a little bit, and you can see the Hell Rider emblem on her chest.
Only problem I have is they never fucking learn. And it's gonna
So,
smile at her.
so I've gutted more people than you're worth.
Cool.
Says, I wouldn't recommend you wandering around looking for Thavius.
What do you know of Thavius?
Says, I'm not the one answering questions, you are.
No, I just asked you a question. You asked me some questions, now it's my fucking turn. What do you know of Thavius?
Says, he is my high overseer.
Is he dead? Is he in hell like the guy in the bar said? Or is he fucking still alive? So I can give him a hand maybe. You never know.
And what kind of hand are you going to give this great man?
I'm not sure if you noticed, but El Terrell's like overrun by demons right now. I'm pretty sure fucking
quite aware of what's
sure
happened.
If I could push a fucking broom, I'm gonna help him. He's kind of fucked right now, right? So.
Says, I'm sure he has this perfectly under control.
Perfectly under control, yeah. The son of fucking El Terrell goes through the ground. Demons come up out of it. He's fucking doing a killer job right now. Maybe we should fucking give him an award.
Do you think you're going to be the hero?
Well, no, actually, I'm looking at the hero right now in front of me. So what are you doing here talking to me?
You know what they say about someone is shiny metal like that? It's never been tested. Fucking polisher.
You can see she unsheathes her blade a little bit. She doesn't take it out, but definitely loosens it in her scabbard as she looks at you, Krieg. Says, why don't you let the men and women talk, dwarf? We don't have time for your antics. Run along, won't you?
Why don't you just tell me where Thavius is, and then I could find out if he needs my help or not.
She says, if I knew where Thavius was, then I would be by his side. I too search for the man.
Well, if you're looking for him and we're looking for him, maybe if you're a little nicer, you could fucking hang out.
Says, you smell
You're
too
ugly.
much for my liking. Says, I'm not here to impress you or wet your whistle anyway.
I bet you could wet my whistle well. Rawr.
You disgust me. She'll sort of shoulder her way through. Says, be gone from this place. She'll turn and start walking away.
I'm just gonna fucking memorize everything about her. Everything I possibly can in the fleeting moments that I have left. Just in case I come across her or somebody like her again, I can pick them out of a crowd because it's very important for Malachi to be able to have these people in tabs.
She makes her way down these docks. You can see probably Quinn and Mithra as you guys are coming down, maybe this slight altercation in the distance as you guys can come into view. She'll walk past the two of you. She seems to pretty much judge everybody as she walks past and gives both of you sort of this snort as she walks past as well. I'm sure you're not looking absolutely beautiful in your ratty clothes either. And you're going to get this weird tingling sense as you walk past her, Quinn, almost like you know this woman. But again, as you turn and look, she doesn't even give you a second glance, just continues to walk away down the street.
Who's that girl? Your next fucking girlfriend or what, Malachi?
How'd you know, sis? I got her number. Woo, doggy.
Because you got shit taste in women?
Fuck. Ones like that are usually the hardest and the funnest.
Yeah, I just have to say, I completely misread that entire situation. I thought we were going to cut her fucking hand off.
Yeah, that might have happened too.
Oh, really? So that means that the investigation by you two knuckleheads went well then, I'm assuming.
We found out what we needed to find out. We gotta go get some clothes now. What are you
And
gonna
what
do?
did you find out?
Look at Krieg and be like, we're going back to the bathhouse.
Aye. And that
course
lion
you wanna
bitch
go
is letting
there.
us in this time.
Yeah, we're gonna go pick up some fucking sweet threads, and we got a job to do.
And where did you get money for these sweet threads, brother?
Yeah,
Oh,
what the
no.
hell happened?
The sweet threads are free. The money was fucking bonus.
Right? And he's gonna give us more after we bring this fucker's hand back.
Who is he and what fucker's hand? Like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah, why are we going on a murder spree? We just got here.
I don't think you're getting any clothes.
It's not a spree, it's just one fat bastard.
Yeah, it's the guy that Krieg's been looking for anyway. Like, it's just gonna work out for us in the end.
Jesus, we're never sending these two alone to figure out shit again.
See,
Agreed.
it's that
How was the
monologue.
library?
Yeah, right. It probably wasn't as exciting as getting paid to cut someone's fucking hand off.
There was
Well,
plenty of
we
excitement
didn't
in the
get
library.
contracted for murder, but we did find out a lot of information.
Listen, fact is, we all look like shit. We all smell like shit. We could all use new clothes. We could use a little bit of armor. You need a fucking shower. I need a shower. I could really use a patch. You have no money. Now me and Krieg do. We're going to do this little job. It's going to be fine. We're all going to clean up and look a little better.
Hey, jackass, I have no problem earning a little money here. I just want to know what the fuck we're doing. I'm not just going to go cut some fat bastard's hand off. Can you maybe tell us what you agreed to, you know? Just a little communication here, brother. That's all I'm looking for.
I want new clothes
50
too.
coins,
I guess
50
that's-
coins each, plus free clothes, just to kill Martelok and cut his hand off, his left hand, and take it back to his brother Emmerich. That's
No, I'm not-
100 gold coins between us.
I'm not exactly sure we can get you guys into the bathhouse, though. You might need to be our escape route.
I mean, I can get into the bathroom house, no problem.
Yeah, same. I'm not worried about that.
Oh, fancy fucking females. Okay, Krieg, let's go do this.
But I still want some new clothes. So
wait.
how do I
Hold
get
on
in
a second,
this?
though. Wasn't your whole mission, Krieg, to find Mortlock because this is your fucking destiny given by paper, and now we're just cutting his hand off for $100 or 100 gold? Is this the destiny that we were?
We're going to ask some questions first. We got this all planned out.
Yeah, and am
I'm gonna
I
talk
like
to
gonna
her
be
first.
safe here?
What?
Well, I've sworn nothing will happen to you.
What
I guess.
You
Wow.
guys invited yourself to the bathhouse. Fuck, that's your problem, not my problem.
Fuck
I'm
it,
gonna
I'm
ask him questions, figure out how he got that piece of paper into me and why I had to bring it out. And
I'd like
well,
to
then
be
I'm gonna
there for
make some
that
money
too.
from it. Oh, aye.
What'd you guys figure out at the library?
And we looked up some shit about the companion orb and the Hell Riders, demons in general. You know, a couple spells, updated the book, all that really exciting stuff.
The hell, that big ass bitch you just saw us with was a Hell Rider. I think they might be onto us already. You gotta keep an eye out for them.
Onto us, they're like goody two shoe fucking do rights.
Yeah,
Aye,
they're,
armored polishers.
How do you think the Hell Riders are gonna feel about us going to cut someone's hand off for no reason?
I
They
guess.
hold little power here, I think, and from what I've understood, they don't just polish armor; they actually went to a plane of hell and fought a war.
Yeah, they lost fucking brutally. Brutally. They're still there. Like, fuck. Cheesy.
Still don't necessarily want to get into a fight with them though.
Who was that one in particular, though? She looked familiar.
I said something that she overheard, and she didn't really mention her name. She was just really pushy and fucking...
Did you get her name, Quinn?
Yeah, I didn't. She was too busy giving me the dagger eyes.
Well, apparently they don't know where Thavius Krieg is either.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They're looking.
Surprising. He's probably dead, or worse.
That's what Mortlock said, but I don't think she believes he's dead.
All right, well, I am definitely ready to get out of these rags. Only problem being is I have no fucking money.
What you gonna do for $5?
I got 3
Check out
gold
that-
on me, actually.
Check out that seagull over there. You willing to eat that seagull for $5?
No.
Oh, look who's not getting dressed today.
Wait, weren't
See?
you fucking begging for money to go on your little date in a couple hours from now? Like, what do you?
Yeah, and who didn't give me shit?
I can earn money if I need to.
Well, we already did.
Hey, I've got coins.
You owe me anyway.
30
so...
whole pieces.
Nice.
For what this
30
time?
of them.
What don't you owe me for?
Oh, fuck. Here's $5. You're probably right.
$5 is 5 golden bucks or 5 silver bucks?
Yeah, a buck would be a gold buck in my.
All right, that's a big buckarino. We could probably buy some nice clothes for all of us for that.
Right. Well, if
Our
I'm
clothes are already bought.
Hey,
You just gotta show up.
we're getting them for free. I will buy you ladies some clothes.
Deal.
Oh, fuck, big
You hear that?
I'm gonna get one with a frilly collar.
Yeah, you hear
Like,
that?
like
Mr.
you see
Shopping's
in
on them.
the high tables. Oh, that's good. Could you imagine me with a frilly collar?
I'm still not really sure we should bring.
As long as I can find something black, I'm
into
in.
this whole thing. 'Cause
Well, I had an idea actually, guys. I
What you
mean, I
got?
still want some new clothes, but I mean, while I was at the library, I did look up a spell that I would like to try. So I could make myself invisible while we go in. Or wait somewhere.
You learned invisibility too? Me also. Well, girl.
Do you think that spell is gonna be fucking good in the bathhouse, or do you think they have protections against that kind of shit?
Yeah, fucking magical defenses in the bathhouse. That makes sense.
Hey, the dukes that hang out there didn't look like they were fucking around, man.
I mean, I feel like most of them will be preoccupied with the other women there. I don't think a lot of people are going to be paying too much attention to me, but...
Right,
I mean, I could also... I mean, Creed, you could buy me something with a nice black hood. Maybe that'll help.
Right? And besides, if we're all dressed up all fancy like these highborn and stuffed shirts and smelling pretty, they'll probably just let us in. Like,
Listen.
the gates will just open. I've seen shit like that happen.
I only shop at thrift shops. I'm not there dressing like these preppy noble douchebags.
Well, they probably won't let you in the gate unless you look like a preppy noble douchebag.
I can look like them.
Freely colors for everybody. That's gonna be grand.
Right.
Maybe some nice black robes. I think that's more my style. With a nice hood.
All right, let's go do some shopping.
Aye.
Cue a 5-hour montage of us girls shopping.
Right? Complete with flipping the feather boas and walking out, striking a pose.
Yep, walking out of the
try
room.
stuff on.
Walking out of the dressing room, 5 or 6 different outfits. You guys do the funny antics and throw cans at them.
I try on lots of hats, for the sun.
If you want some fancy clothes, go ahead and give yourself some. As long as you mention Amric, they seem to be knowing ahead of time, and they hook you up with some noble clothes.
I think just because Krieg thinks it's fancy, he's gonna find some type of a perfume or something. He's gonna smell like roses.
Krieg, maybe you can share some of that. You smell great.
I'm gonna do extra careful to not only get like clothes but a few accessories. Maybe that eye patch would be nice if they have one, or something like something to at least hide the fact that they aren't gonna recognize me as Duke Dumas from fucking trying to pull off fucking cool shit.
Yeah, maybe have your hair trimmed up a bit and shave and get the douchebag highlights and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can give yourself an eye patch too. Imagine it would be a nice gold trimmed one.
All right.
Krieg got some curls in his beard. Nice swoopy mustache. Nice curls through that big long red beard.
I've never seen you two look so clean. I can't believe it.
I don't think I've ever been this clean.
Well, you smell fantastic.
You want to spend some time alone later, you let me know, eh?
Like a flower garden. Just like fancy people. I smell like the court of the fairies. Oh, I could probably walk right in there right now.
Well,
I don't know.
No ring of toadstools will stop me.
Let's one at a time.
Since Since we got out of jail, Malachi's never actually picked up a weapon or have any other form of bolts on him yet. So I don't necessarily need a weapon or anything. I'm just like wondering, like, maybe is that an option for the other characters who don't have anything that might need something? Like, or do you?
Yeah, you guys are in the city. You can go buy whatever you want, really.
It's up to you guys if you want anything.
I'm getting my dagger back from you. I have it that I've loaned it to you, so I'm taking that shit back.
Fine.
I think I have I do have a dagger. I got it from someone or somewhere. I don't know, but I have a dagger.
I thought I lost it. Whatever.
If it comes to us fighting with the weapons, if I'm the one fighting with the weapons, we've already lost the fight. So.
All right. Well, I'm not sure they're gonna let us in with weapons in this place either. I don't think they like it when you fucking go in the back room with a chick and a fucking 4-foot sword. So, whatever.
Yeah. So you're saying purchasing stuff is all right?
Yeah, if you want to purchase
I think,
something.
yeah, I think, I don't know, I'm only sitting on 30. Can't purchase that. I think a nicer suit, some fine, actually fitted studded leather armor.
Okay.
Or no, shit. Price is wrong again.
Yeah.
Nope, just regular leather for now. But it'll be clean and nice. New shield.
I just want some fancy black and silver robes with a nice hood I can pull up when the sun's out.
Do you guys buy Mithra her robe?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll wait till after we're done with the bathhouse to actually possibly stock up on adventure gear.
Yeah, I think the new shield Krieg gets finds one that just there's a design painted on it. He just really kind of dug it and grabbed the thing. An upright flaming sword. I think it kind of caught his fancy and he nabbed that up.
Everybody give me a perception roll, please.
Mm-hmm. 18 plus 4, so 22.
16.
Anybody beat a 22? Alright, so Mithra, you'll notice maybe as everybody's stepping out of this place in their new clothes and looking fancy and getting ready to head to the bathhouse. You step out into the main streets, there's plenty of people about like normal, but you see a bit of flash, almost like a mirror flash in the distance and turn. You'll see that woman that you walked past you earlier with the metal armor scooting around a corner like she's been watching. Just a flash of the sun when it hits her armor, and she's gone.
Hey guys, I saw her again. The Hellrider you guys were talking to. Well, the one that didn't seem too happy with us.
Oh, yeah,
Armor polisher? Oh, she's got the eye for you, Malachi. Must have made a grand impression.
Another stalker, great.
I do that.
Yeah, I don't know if she looked pleased or not, but I did see her, so it seems like she's maybe following us. I mean, if she wanted to come shopping with us, she could have just asked.
I doubt that's the case, but unless we see her to the bathhouse.
You can glance around. She doesn't come back, and you look at that corner with her, and you kind of walk down the street towards the bathhouse. You'd pass by it, and you don't see her. You're pretty sure. You saw that glint of armor. You saw that thing. You saw this bright red hair. That must have been her, but no, you don't see her now. The bathhouse looks just like you left it. This great big courtyard. The building itself is this white veined and gold marble building. The plot is big and square, but the building itself is in the upper left-hand corner of the plot, so the yard is sort of L-shaped that wraps around it. There's easily half a dozen people outside walking about here and there. You don't see the Duke lady here. You do see the 2 guards standing at the door who will look at you as you come up, but they don't give you that disgusted face that they did before, as you look quite a bit nicer. They'll still step in front of you, though. Name and business.
I am the Earl of Krieg, and I have an appointment. And Krieg flips a little handkerchief and holds it to his nose. Open.
Who is your appointment with?
The bathhouse. Step out of the way. You're a little low on the totem pole for me to even talk to. Open.
Give me a deception check.
Oh, God. Yeah, why is it somebody else talking? Krieg's gonna get everybody killed. Hey, I rolled a 13. Right on the button. No bonus.
You can see he turns and kind of talks to this other man behind him for a moment. He kind of shrugs as he turns back around. Well, you're the one that was coming for the massage parlors. Could have sworn his name was something else that doesn't quite ring a bell.
I made the appointment for the massage parlor. I'm sorry. I must have used the wrong name. I apologize. I fail my master all the time. Just keep my head down.
And these are your lackeys?
I am no lackey. I am here on my own regards. My name is Gwendolyn. I'm here for your bath services. I'll say it with a snooty tone. This is my guest. And I'll point to Mithra to introduce herself.
I mean, do I have to say anything? Am I forced to? I don't really want to say anything to him. I'm just gonna keep my head down.
The name is Lady Gwendolyn. I'm from Neverwinter. Surely you've heard from me. I am here on private invite of Miss Vinholt herself. Apparently this is a worthy establishment of my graces.
It's quite worthy. Quite worthy. Do you have your invitations?
Invitations? Start scuffling through my pockets.
Miss
Yeah,
Vinholt.
we didn't get any at the bar, did we?
Did we? No. Miss Vinholt said that I surely would not need such formalities.
Emmerich said I would just be able to walk in.
Oh, Emmerich, yes. Well.
You are holding up me and wasting my time.
You must understand it's business, you know. It's our job to make sure that the riffraff doesn't get into the bathhouse. I'm sure you're quite aware of the riffraff that has been in the city lately. I don't mean any.
What is your name,
offense.
guard? Are you insinuating that we are riffraff?
No, Jabaz. My name is Jabaz. My apologies.
Well,
Many
Jabaz,
people have.
do you see my frilly colour? Can you smell my rose garden? I think you're barking up the wrong tree, throwing about words like riffraff. We don't even know what that means. So open the gate.
Chabaz, if this goes on a moment longer, then I'm going to have to definitely speak to you speak Mrs. Vinholt about you. This is getting a bit annoying, and I'm personally a bit offended right now.
No. You should not be. No, my apologies. And you'll turn quickly, unlocking the gates, kind of shoving this other guy out of the way. He says, just move. He says, yeah, just right up to the bathhouses. My apologies. We're on very strict guard duties with every. Sorry. Sort of just step to the side.
Well, that's slide. I did see you at the gate of Baldur's. I'm sure you're stressed, but next time, do not be so offensive.
Yes, Lady Gwendolyn, my apologies. And to you too, Duke of Krieg.
I'll walk by and I'll murmur to Mithra loud enough so that he can hear us talking. Did you hear that man calling us a riffraff? How imprudent.
And it's Earl.
Nobody calls me riffraff.
Like girl, but with an R.
I'm going to take a second. I'm going to take a second behind everyone and talk to the guard with my head down and stay. The Earl of Krieg has heard many tales of the fountains of this bathhouse. How do we see those?
This is just right in the main courtyard, sir. 3 large ones, crafted. They say the cherubs and the men that piss into the fountain. They were created by Medusa herself.
It's fantastic. Thanks.
Yes, most certainly, most certainly. You can hear this creaking of the gate as it slams shut behind you, and the two of the guards sort of arguing back and forth a little bit. The courtyard itself is sort of up on a hill a little bit, with the main building up at the very top of the hill. There are 3 huge fountains, one in each corner, not counting the building itself, obviously. And they're these big, huge, cobbled-together stones with sort of different figures that have been carved out of stone, it looks like, in different poses, water coming from their mouths, or some of them look like they're just urinating into the pool and such. All quite fancy. Very, very lifelike indeed. So it doesn't sort of, you don't doubt that they could have been people at one time, Malachi. Outside, there's half a dozen people or so moving about the fountain, some of them leaning back into the fountains themselves. And everybody's wearing the simple silken white gown that wraps around their body.
Oh, are we gonna get robes too? Because I gotta tell you, this fluffy collar is just a bit itchy. How the fuck do they wear these damn things?
It looks fantastic on you, man. You should keep that under your armor all the time. Like, that is like fucking Creek look au fashionable. Like, you're fucking rocking it.
Oh, it's like tree bark. Bloody hell.
No, man, you gotta keep that thing on.
It does look fancy.
You're going to see 4 girls come out of the main doorways up at the top. Oh, look, maybe in their early teens or so. They're wrapped in these heavy gowns, and each one's carrying a silken gown. They wear a porcelain mask that has a handprint, sort of in black on the side of it, as they run down towards you, each one handing you these silken gowns. They do this sort of curtsy bow a little bit before turning and running back up towards the bathhouse.
Before they go, if you could help us put these on, if they continue to run, then that's fine.
Oh, no, as soon as you mention, they will stop and turn and unfold these things and hold them out a little bit. You see, one of them is waiting for your own clothes before you put these on.
Oh, yeah, if she's looking, I'm fucking stripping naked. I don't care if fucking Quinn's watching or not. I'm definitely getting prepared for this wonderful woman. I'm going to stand there, actually, in my birthday suit and kind of smile with my hands at my side for a second before she gives me my robes.
She'll slip these over your shoulders and simple little buttons on the front of it that go down. Sort of just a simple silken, almost like a monk's outfit.
She'll notice small, odd, healed, scarred dots all over my body.
You don't see any... Go ahead.
Oh, I think Krieg just puts it on over the top of everything else. Enamored with how fancy he thinks he looks.
Yeah, any action, or if you talk to these girls or anything, they don't say anything or do anything besides what you ask or to make sure you get the clothes. As soon as you give them whatever you're not wearing, whatever, they'll take them up towards the bathhouse again.
I think Krieg is mostly just looking around for a large man with a scar on his face.
Yeah, outside, don't see anybody that matches it. They're definitely nobility-looking people, a handful of men and women. Some of them are sitting on these marble benches. Some of them are sitting in amongst this like sand garden with these large rocks that they're pushing around. Looks like they're playing some sort of game or kind of like chess of some sort or something with black and yellow large stones. Besides the fountains, then there's just this big bathhouse itself, which has a big set of steel gates that leads into this big marble building. Steam just rolls out of this place.
Well, can you knuckleheads keep it together long enough to not get us kicked out of here? Well, I guess we're gonna have to ask around.
Maybe there's secret hidden fountains underneath or something.
Right, well, didn't he say fountains beneath the bathhouse? Or did he just say fountains at the bathhouse?
He did say fountains beneath the bathhouse. I didn't expect there to be fountains all over the fucking place.
Then I guess we're going in. There's air you can wear flowing right out of that building. That's kind of nice. It reminds me of the steam vents back in the Iron Hills. Except those probably smell better.
Well, before we begin to unravel this adventurous mystery that you guys have signed us up for, I am going to take full advantage of this situation, and I'm just going to start looking around for the actual baths that people are in, and just definitely going to live up the lavish life a bit. It's probably been a long time since a proper bath has been taken. I'm going to recommend you guys do the same. I'm assuming it's not in the same area, but I don't know. And then maybe we just mingle a bit, ask around. Don't be too... the thought of you guys going off on your own, that gives me nightmares.
Thanks.
I'm definitely going to stick with Quinn, and...
maybe we can find a communal area. Got to keep you guys on a short leash. And Krieg, why are you wearing your robe over your robe? You're supposed to... This is a bathrobe. Take off your normal robes.
Don't tell him. Just keep layering. Just keep layering, buddy.
No, don't take them off here. Go change somewhere else. Just cover my eyes.
Oh, right. Where do I put it?
That's what the girl was for.
And one of those towel girls.
Mask face lady! I think
Oh,
Creed
God.
goes to try and track one of them down.
Yeah, I'm just looking for a bath and a big pool of people to talk with and see what we can figure out.
The 3 fountains on the outside, they have people here and there sitting on them and stuff, but the main baths themselves are in the building, so you can make your way up there. And this is huge 20-foot high pillared chamber on the inside. It's adorned with all sorts of frescoes of royalty. And you will notice, too, as you step into here, Mithra, there's a lot of these elven statues that are scattered about, but they give you this uncomfortable feeling. They don't look like the more corded muscles of the wild elves or the more lithe and limber forms of the noble elves and stuff. They're all very much have a drow aesthetic to them. And they're all different poses and all around in this main chamber. There's 4 sunken pools of steaming water. Each one is 20 foot long by 20 foot wide in the main room, just one in each corner, basically just a grid of 4 of them. Half a dozen people at least in each of them. Marble benches line the outside of the walls where people lounge. The entire ceiling of this place is crafted of, looks to be some sort of glass, but the sun that coming through is warm but not overbearing. It seems like it's filtered somehow or something. Quinn, Mithra, and Malachi, you guys can definitely tell there's some sort of magic or something with the ceiling. It's not magnifying the heat. Otherwise, there's small little single baths with brass faucets and just lots of elven statues everywhere. 36 of them to be exact.
Oh, this is going to be great. I'm heading to the pool.
I'm gonna stick by and study some of these statues. Maybe notice the familiarity of what kind of elf they are and possibly start to worry a little bit more about Mithra.
Give me a...
I'd also like to kind of check out the statues just as I'm going to walk down towards the pool, but just kind of as I go, I'm just kind of noticing and feeling a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, both of you can give me an investigation check as you kind of glance at him.
Krieg kind of goes running by, throwing his robe off. He whispers over, "Oh yeah, Mithra, there were 2 drow at the bloody stool. They were twins. They looked exactly alike. I'm getting in the pool now." And naked little skinny dwarf goes running by, basically covered neck to the bottom of his feet with sailor tattoos, waves, and fish, and everything in a blue. And he goes splashing into the pool to bathe.
Awesome.
What'd you guys get for investigation?
I got an 11.
17.
17. So as you pass by, and maybe Mithra points out a few things to you, Malachi, or something. These statues, you don't see any signs of carvings or artistic man-made type things. They're very, very realistic, right down to the folds of the garments that they're wearing. And even some of them have this wide-eyed look of panic or fear or something. They're all quite beautiful and in all different poses, but it still looks a little unnatural, a little uncomforting of some sorts. And again, you think back to what that man had said, Malachi, about the Medusa, and it just kind of sends a little bit of a shiver up your spine.
I still don't think you should be here, Mithra, but can't say I'm not glad you are.
These statues look like real people. I'm starting to think that maybe they were elves that were petrified. I'm starting to think maybe you were right.
You are the thing that the guy we're looking for wanted, so I don't know. Maybe just kind of stay low.
Nobody's giving you any other, even really attention or anything, Mithrin. Like you don't look like out of the normal or anything that people are interested in you or anything more than anybody else anyway.
Am I the only dark elf? Am I the only dark elf here?
Yeah, they're not very common. Most of it's humans. So quite a few halflings. Humans, halflings. There's a couple of dwarves and a handful of elves. Mostly humans, though.
Just unsettling. I don't think I'm in any immediate danger, but I mean, it looks like something bad happened here to get these statues here, if that's what they even are.
I'm starting to think you might be in immediate danger, but let's see what happens.
Quinn and Krieg, what do you guys do in the... You looking for anybody particular or just helping yourself? And
I'm looking to see if there's any noteworthy people in the bath pool that look approachable. Anyone that stands out in particular, and then if not, just someone that looks like they're willing to gossip.
You don't see Vindholt anywhere. Really don't see anybody that looks like they're part of the family or anything either. But there's different people here and there. So as you slide into the pool, Quinn, and this warm water just washes over you. It has a very cinnamon and rose sort of smell to it. You can see flower petals floating along the top of it. There's even some small koi and fancy goldfish swimming around in the depths of it. There's marble seating all the way around it. You can see a man off to the side of you who is reading, looks like some sort of paper or gazette of some sort. Folds it up as you step in and sits aside and looks over. How do you do, young lady? How do you do? How are you this wonderful afternoon?
Yeah. And prior to Bathhouse, like Quinn's natural kind of body language is a little bit slouchy and maybe not unconfident, but definitely not like a noble air to her. But as she's in here now, she's definitely like shoulders back, like propped up, snooty like she belongs here. And she would say, "Oh, good day, sir. It is quite fine here. This is a wonderful establishment. Have you been here much?"
Every day for the past, I've lost track. Long time. Come in, eat a bit of crumpets, get a massage, rest in the pools, read the news. Can't believe what happened in El Terrell.
Yes,
poor soddy bastards. You tell me.
Remind me though, because I'm not from here. I'm Gwendolyn, and I'll just basically bark out some Neverwinter name. I personally, as a player, don't know any like fancy noblemen, but Quinn studied enough to probably just like pull something out of her ass of a Neverwinter, Gwendolyn, and then just say we're down here visiting. And the last time I was here, I don't remember hearing much of the Vindholt family, but now I'm under the impression that she is a Archduke or of some kind. That is a quick rise of power, is it not?
You'll slide over a little bit. Says, if you ask me, she slid her way in a bit unfathomably, but that's just between you and I. She's a good man, or a good lady. She's certainly picking up the economy a bit. The ships are rolling in, the docks are getting cleaned up. Well, assuming we get rid of that El Terrell shit and those riffraff who are trying to get into the city. I don't blame them. Yeah, from what I think, they probably brought it upon themselves, all hoity-toity like they are. The name's Milken, by the way, Milken.
Milken, pleasure. Yes, and I'm going to kind of go wide-eyed and just basically like taking it in. Like everything that this man says to me is incredibly interesting, hopefully just kind of fueling his ego to make him talk more. And you say that you think that Miss Vindholt, she slid her way in. Surely not something nefarious or anything like that. I've only heard good things of her, no?
Typical merchants of Baldur's Gate. They all have a dark past, I'm sure. But, it was a quick entry to say the least. But she's doing a good job. The bathhouse is looking better than ever since her children took over. And the economy is doing well, and
Yes.
Well, beyond the Raven Guard, I mean, he, as you know, I'm sure that he left on his duties to El Terrell. The gods bless him. I hope he's doing quite fine. But, well, it's quite a mad thing that's happened, but we don't let that get us down, Gwendolyn. I mean, we're up here on the hill anyway. We have our own watch guard. We don't have to worry about the flaming fist getting unruly here on the hill. You have nothing to worry about.
Oh, that is good to know. You mentioned that Miss Vinholt, she has children. Does she have any male sons that would be perhaps suitable suitors? Myself being a single noblewoman, this could be a potential great alliance between our families. Tell me more about these children.
Don't keep your hopes up, lady. If you want a nobleman, then, well, I know quite the people that would be interested in your lineage. Not these, what you call children of hers. I don't think they really have, well, much to stand on. The one is nothing but a ogreish brute of a man, and the other two are just conniving, always working the docks. And well, I've even heard rumors that they're in with the guild.
The guild? What do you mean?
Well, the Thieves Guild, of course.
Oh, right.
The only guild in Baldur's Gate.
Apologies, I don't visit here very often and try to stay out of that kind of stuff.
It's quite obvious. Yes, you should not be interested in them. If you're looking for love, well, I can help you with that.
I heard a lot about this Mortlock guy, a big ogreish man. Do you know where does he hang out here often, or?
I've seen him about. Big fat bastard, a bit of a scar on his face. Certainly doesn't take after his mother, but hate to see the man that's hired him.
Yeah, he doesn't spend much time at the bathhouse, then, I'm assuming?
Here and there, but I haven't seen him lately.
Now, between me and you, and hopefully I can trust you, right, Milcom?
Most certainly. Oh, of course.
I heard stories that there is perhaps more fountains than there is on just the main level. Private, kind of hidden fountains for the more exclusive guests. Have you heard anything about that?
Well, much like you, I've only heard of it. Those that have the money and wish to pay for such conveniences. I like to spend my time up here chatting with the fine folks like yourself and enjoying the sun. I don't want to be down there in the danks, Nothing good down there anyway.
But surely you, being a rich, impressive man that you claim to be, would
yes,
easily have the money to do so, would you not?
Oh, well, most certainly.
Well, and I'll kind of twirl my hair or whatever and be like, being not from around here, that kind of stuff sounds rather exciting to me, just a chance to see it. Would you be interested in showing a foreign gal around the place, the more secretive areas?
I've never been there myself. I've only heard of them.
Yes, but someone like you clearly could get there no problem. All this money and fame, and such an impressive individual.
Well, yes, of course I could do that if I could, but I want to, enjoy the company of all these fine folk over here. Like that one over there. You see that little halfling? His name is Drink. He has a brother named Drink. Drink and Drink. Have you ever seen anything or heard anything so hilarious in your life? Halflings named Drink and Drink. They don't have that down below in the fountains.
I'll be honest, Milcom, I'm not particularly interested in halflings. I'm interested in what I've spoke of.
So, of course, let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do.
You're not the individual. I'm sure I can find others that are more adventurous. No worries.
I'm quite adventurous. Quite almost. Let me see what I can do. Start to get up. Give me a few moments and I'll be back. Let me go have a word with the proprietors.
You do that. Thank you, sir.
You can see he makes his way over, sort of this nervous glance over his shoulder a few times toward you before he heads. There's backside, you can see it goes down a hallway and there's several doorways that he'll stop at one of them and enter.
gonna like instantly like slouch and sigh, like that was mentally exhausting to her to like keep up that kind of facade. And then I'm gonna find Krieg, who I imagine is just like doggy paddling around the pool, like dolphins squirting up in the air, and just like, Krieg, things might move fast. Make sure the others are around.
Oh, aye. And for the record, Krieg's an excellent swimmer. He was a Marine.
All right, I forgot. Yeah,
You're doing the breaststroke.
yeah, he's doing full laps around the pool.
Beard trailing out behind him in the water.
How about Smith or Malachi? What are you guys doing?
I think at this point, after, I've kind of checked out the statues, I'm gonna kind of jump in the pool beside Quinn now that her friends left.
I'm gonna be looking for stairs that go down.
Most of the building itself is pretty much open, Malachi, so you can wander around. The only really separate area is this hallway. There's 4 doors on either side. You can see 2 of them have these big glass windows, and it just looks into like an office room. You can see that man that Quinn was talking to speaking to a woman on one of these rooms, and the other one just has a whole bunch of these like clothing girls that are folding up robes and putting clothes aside and sorting through stuff. The other 2 doorways are both shut, but they were labeled. What are they labeled? The South Massage Room and the North Massage Room. You muted.
I'll be keeping an eye on the man I saw my sister talking to in the pool.
Inside, you can't hear anything. You can see him through this window, but the door itself is closed, and even no sound comes through the window itself either. But it looks like he's talking and trying to work something out, and kind of huffing and puffing as he's taking coin out of his purse and paying for something.
Cool.
Krieg is going to wave down. Are there attendants still walking around?
Yes.
Here?
Yep.
All right, Krieg's going to wave one of them down and be like, hey, you know, I was told by my good friend Emmerich Winold that y'all had some underground fountains for folks like me that are especially fancy and smelling really nice, like flower gardens. Is there such a thing?
You'll see this girl, the same porcelain mask with the handprint on the side, just staring at you. She just shrugs her shoulders.
Well, can you find out?
And she'll sort of look around, and
Can you no talk, lass?
she'll shake her head no.
Well, I see, you just open your mouth and start flapping your tongue and words come right in and out. Does the mask, make you not talk? It's not the mask. Oh, did they cut your tongue out? Are you getting paid here? Or do they keep you like slaves?
When you ask her if she's getting paid, she'll nod yes.
Yeah, not a slave? Alright, I thought I was going to have to kill everybody in the place for a moment there. Alright, that's good. They treat you well. Aye, okay. About your business, thank you for your help.
And she will walk away.
I think Krieg's going to kind of look around for any of the others. Probably spot, Mithra and Quinn. And go splashing back into the pool. Well, I kind of find nothing about new fountains under the place. I was checking. Hey, do you know they cut the tongues out of their servant girls like that?
That's horrible. Are they slaves?
No, that was the first thing I checked because I would have killed a lot of people to free him if that was the case. No fucking slave. That's a horrible life.
I think I found someone to bring us down to the lower fountain levels, but
Oh, there are fountains?
Apparently it's a secret society kind of thing, paid admission only.
Oh.
Uh,
Alright, I gotta go get my sword and my shield if we're going down.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Maybe we'll go along the alias that you two are our guards. The man seems interested in me, and I'm sure he won't be upset by Mithra here. She's a good-looking lass. But you two are our guards. You cool with that? Where's Malachi? God damn it.
Yeah, what happened to your brother? Why are we always losing him?
I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with the eye. Like, he is harder to find, right? Oh, hey, there he is. I found him.
All right.
Then Krieg's gonna go splashing off the password to Malachi.
Mithra, you come with me, and you guys follow along, and let's get our shit. Not make it too obvious, and we'll meet up again with Milcom. He looks like he's almost done making the arrangements.
Yeah,
Right.
actually, you will see him come out, and this woman behind him, very dark-skinned woman, this hair that's really tight to her head and has been braided down her back, almost all the way down to her lower back, in just these long braids. And she will come out over to where you are, Quinn, and you can see Malcolm looks quite nervous. She looks at you for a few moments. Says, Malcolm says you want to go to Suez to see the fountains. Why?
Who is this talking to us?
This younger, dark-skinned lady with Malcolm.
A bit of sightseeing, a little adventure.
And
We
who?
were told they were beautiful.
By whom?
There's a grapevine.
There is no grapevine. It is important that you tell me who told you of these fountains. You can see Malcolm sort of back up a little bit, and he's like waving behind her.
I'm just looking at Quinn here, like, I'm just following you. What the hell?
And he'll come up and says, I really think that they'd be interested in these
I'm
helping
going
us
to
out with this, Carmilla.
look around, and when he says Carmilla, is there anyone else kind of watching this, or are we just kind of in a close immediate circle of ourselves?
Yeah, more of a circle of yourselves. There's people about, but nobody's really paying a whole lot of attention.
I'm going to say, Camilla, I have found my ways of hearing about this, and I think it would be great if you took us down there right now, and I will mutter arcane magic word underneath my breath and cast suggestion on her.
Is it a save?
Yeah, wisdom saving throw. Please don't fail. I mean,
She'll stares at you for a few moments. Then you must be one of us. Yes.
Of course.
of course. So yes, I think you'll take us down and head on with your day, right? We're one of you.
And she will stare at you for a few moments, and she sort of steps forward so her knees are bent a little bit, and she puts her hand to her forehead and draws a line down her face. And it seems to be waiting for you.
I will do the same thing, but can I make a check to see if I recognize that?
You certainly can.
What would I make a investigation?
Religion.
Yeah, I'd like to see if I know what she's doing as well.
Probably not with a 13, but I emulate it anyways to the best of my ability.
You've probably seen it, but you're not quite sure what exactly it is. What did you get, Mithra?
15 plus, what is my religion? 3, so 18, not bad.
Let me double check which one it is. So it is the symbol that a lot of priests and followers of Merkel, the Lord of Bones, makes amongst each other.
It's not dangerous?
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, it's not a good person.
Okay. Is the only way I'm going to get down there by doing this symbol, or...
She seems to be waiting, is she?
Yeah, I'm going to nudge you.
Alright, I guess
Go
I'll
with
do it too.
Go with it.
Is Krieg and Malachi there? I'm not sure. Are you guys...
I will just say that these two are my private guards. They will do whatever they're told.
Yeah, Krieg had scuttled off or ran off to go put on his clothes and strap on the armor and get his sword and shield. I mean, shield slung across his back.
Malachi definitely looks like somebody who would definitely go to any ends to protect her. So if that goes towards her looking a little bit shady to be a part of this group, then right on.
So once Quinn and Mithra, once you do that, she will stand back up and nod. Give me a moment. I will come back. And she'll turn, and she can see she heads back towards the office and enters it. And welcome, will smile. See, I told you I could get you down there, Gwendolyn. And who is this fine, young, beautiful woman with you? I don't see many drows around here.
You didn't tell us it was going to be this big of an ordeal, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Well, you insisted. I told you it's better to stay up here. But you're one of us. I could see it in your eyes. I knew it from the start. And with a drow in tow, it was quite obvious.
Yes.
Old Malcolm, he knew what you were up to.
Of course, I'm an adventurous woman, and so is my friend Mithra.
Mithra, beautiful name. Almost like that of our Lord. Just a few letters off. What do you think of these statues, Mithra?
Well, they're
Quite.
definitely very realistic.
Have you not heard the tales of the wench below?
You know, I have heard a little bit, and I'm starting to get a clearer picture the longer I stay here.
Well, don't you worry. She only punishes those who don't follow. You'll be perfectly fine.
Well, I don't plan on pissing anyone off today, so...
I'm going to whisper to Malachi, how much did you say we're getting paid for this shit again? It might not be worth it.
Doesn't sound like enough anymore. How many people do you think are going to be down there? This is like fucking cult shit. We're in trouble.
Yes, bad. Do we ditch or do we go with it?
Well, it couldn't hurt to look, right?
Are you actually saying that as a question? I imagine there's, and then I'll just look at Malcolm. I imagine he's watching, so I won't say anything. But Quinn can think of 100 different thousands of ways that this could hurt.
Might as well find out. Let's go. See what happens.
I also am going to, I guess I'm going to wait a little bit longer, but if we get in, I'm going to do something as we begin to head in.
Yeah. Malcolm says, give me just a moment. I need to get to my clothes. I'll be back as well. You see him shuttle down, go towards that room with the clothing and everything where those girls are. And why don't we take a quick 5-minute break here, and then we'll kick off the last hour.
Word.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so real quick for the record, so the shield, the one that grabbed Krieg's eye, yeah, there's full-on symbol of Tempest, the god of war.
Yeah, I see.
Slowly working in the character level, but not officially yet. But yeah, so that might cause problems for us. So he's just got it slung across his back, so anybody behind us would probably recognize the holy symbol.
Gotcha.
Just throwing that out. I mean, it might be dangerous, but yeah, I'll be back.
Maybe we'll hide that.
Yeah, right? Well, Krieg doesn't know yet what it is. Slowly working it in. Be back.
I have returned.
Aw. Just kidding.
Oh, I have no clue what we're getting ourselves into.
I'm pretty sure we're going down into a place that likes to fucking turn fucking dark elves into stone, and we're just walking in like a bunch of happy people.
Well, thank God I am not a dark elf.
Excuse me.
It's quite a beautiful place, actually.
Yeah. Sounds great. Got my buddy Milgram.
Melkem. Melkem.
Yeah, I bet you there's like 30 to 40 fucking cult members down here.
So, yeah, that would be the sign of Merkel, who is Lord of Bones.
Hey, you guys wanted to cut off the arm of fucking fat guy. I'm just getting the job done.
I'm still sticking to the whole technically me and Krieg were the only two supposed to be common. You guys should have been safe this whole time. Fucking joined up, okay? So
you guys wouldn't have got even a quarter of this fire without me.
Yeah, probably not. Krieg should not ever be allowed to talk to people in any kind of social interaction situation. I'm telling you right now, I have like shit charisma and I have shit intelligence. Yeah. Oh yeah, also full disclosure, like I think I forgot to put it in the chat. My third level, I actually stopped going on fighter and I took first level cleric.
Oh. So the hero that we don't deserve, but the hero that we need.
Right? Yeah. Obviously, you know, I'm slowly like working it in because I can't just jump in and take everything, or at least I don't feel I can. But yeah, he's going war domain.
Nice.
For the god Tempest,
cool,
who is a god of war.
Yeah, is Batman.
Right. Yeah, so there's two spells that are always considered to be memorized, but the other two, I'm not taking that he's got them because I didn't do anything to prepare those two spells at all. But two of them for War Domain are considered to always be available as prepared, no matter what, that come with that.
Making quick use of my second level spell.
I'll be accidentally working them in as Krieg discovers that he's being patroned, so to speak.
That's cool. That's cool. I like it.
All right. Yeah. Actually works out pretty awesome. So I was looking over the stuff and like as far as being a protector, like the third level options for a fighter really didn't have much in the way of that. Like there's no way to dive deeper as a like protector type, which is where he was before. He was the weapon skill or whatever that they get, or the martial skill or whatever was protector originally, which is what lets him give an enemy a disadvantage when attacking someone close by. But there's like no thing that like pushes any farther than that, which was kind of my aim, being as everybody else's wizard types.
Kind of dickheads all choose spellcasters.
No, it's awesome. And I still get to basically be the fighter type as a war domain.
Yeah.
What is it? Fighting style. That's what I'm trying to think of.
Listen, it's going to be rough for the first couple levels, but once we get to a certain level, our party is going to be OP.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, Morgan. Do you want me to let you know what spells I took, or is that?
Yeah, whenever you have time, but no rush. But I'm not too worried about it.
I'll plunk them into the chat one of these times. It's nothing crazy. I only took one spell that's actually damaging, just because like there wasn't anything else to kind of follow that other path that I was looking at. So It'll be cool. And yes, I did take cure wounds because we need some healing.
Nice.
It's just not prepped because I have not memorized spells because it's technically not a full-blown cleric yet, as far as the RP goes.
Can't wait.
All right. Back with us, Mithra? Not quite. No. I've had this cough for like 2 weeks now. I can't get rid of it.
That's the worst. So it's usually like the last thing to go. Like after a cold, it's the cough that usually just stays around persistent. Not cool.
All right. Sweet. Alrighty. So you guys will see Malcolm as he gets his clothing and stuff like that in this side room. And sort of waste a few minutes, and you'll see this woman come back out. Carmilla is what he called her. And she will walk forward. She has a set of keys in her hand. Says, "We must go now. Follow me." And she'll lead you down this hallway to the says the north massage room on the door. And opens it up. Inside, you will see this tall man. He looks human, but he's closer to 8 feet tall and very, very skinny, just skin and bones almost, as he's working on a body that's on the counter, not like a dead body, a person who's getting massaged. He glances over his shoulder and gives a little bit of a nod. You see he kicks his foot, and this trap door kicks up as he continues just to massage this person on the table. Carmilla, look over. "What you're looking for is down these steps. Go across the room and follow the main path. You will know what to do from there." And again, she'll step forward and sort of kneels just a little bit, like bends her knees, and draws that line down her face.
I will do the same and say thank you, Camilla.
Does everybody else follow?
And then once we walk in, I'm going to
I'll
cast...
follow, but I'm not going to do the thing.
Oh, you're just a peasant anyway at the moment, apparently.
Perfect.
I am going to cast Detect Evil and Good.
There's lots of evil. Everywhere there's evil.
And basically what that does is in the 30 feet, it lets me know if there's any aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet. I can also see if there has been magical items or places that have been consecrated or desecrated.
All right. In the 30-foot radius?
Yeah. The big thing I'm obviously looking for is fiend and probably undead. I don't think I'm going to find any celestials down here.
No. She will sort of give you a curious look as you pass by Krieg. And just say, "You stole it. I like that." She gives you a bit of a wink.
I do what the mistress tells me. And he just walks right by.
All right. It is a pretty narrow step down into the stairwell, so I need a marching order.
Shit. I'll go first.
Oh.
I kind of want to be like in between Krieg and Malachi.
I'll go second behind Quinn then.
All right, so Quinn, Malachi, Mithra, Krieg. So you start to move down these steps, Quinn. And it's just these old wooden rickety steps, and it goes down deeper and deeper. Total of 60 feet underground. You kind of get the idea. Maybe you can count your steps or something. But it just keeps going down, just pitch blackness until you reach the bottom where you can see just a little bit of light. You'll enter into a room. You'll step on the steps, but in front of you is this room itself. It's still a few steps down, but it goes into a flooded chamber. The water itself looks to be maybe 3 foot deep or so it's going to come up to like your waist as you're looking at it. It's very viscous looking. You can see these bubbles skimming across the top. There's 3 bodies floating around in the dark water, about 10, 15 feet away from you. Chamber itself is quite large, 20, 30, 50 foot long by 15 foot wide. Straight across from you, though, is another pair of stairs that start to lead up a little bit, and still under the water, though, and it looks like it goes down into a hallway. But this chamber otherwise is just a 3 foot deep pool of old, stale, vermin-infested water with dead bodies floating in it. You don't get any notice from your spell or anything, though. There's nothing undead or evil or anything in here. Just
What the hell is this place?
I don't know, but I'm starting to feel like I've done something really bad. Did you see those statues?
Oh, I saw them.
They weren't carved. No, not even an elf can carve something like that. Any dwarf worth his salt will know those were people. They were living. I'm quite certain of it. And
I got the same impression. I was told if I didn't piss her off, then I would be fine.
I'm not happy.
Yeah, I'm starting to regret coming down here.
Me too. I think I've done something wrong bringing you here.
Yeah, see what happens when you randomly just accept papers and tell people you're going to cut off fat dude's arms without asking any questions? You get into basement cults. This is what we get.
Let's just get the job
This is how you
done.
get basement calls.
Well, I'm feeling a whole lot better about killing this fat fuck now. But the other thing, I was just excited to get out of jail. But I'll stand by the first part of that to protect you through here.
All right,
I'm not going to let any harm come to you.
I don't really know how much this is worth, 100 gold, but
You're not even getting paid. Me and him are.
That's
You're
what I'm
just
saying.
here for
So what are we doing here?
I don't know.
Well, the last time we all split up, it went terribly.
Yeah, well,
Why?
you want to go by yourself, then go by yourself, I'll say. Go down the death cult.
Well, it's a little late now. You're here. You might as well come with me. I mean, you know.
That's what I thought. All right.
Boy, I'm not leaving either of you alone down here.
I'm going to start going through the fucking dirty water.
I'm right behind her.
Step down. It's freezing cold when you step into it. It comes up to about your waist as you start wading across this room, pushing this body that's floating along out of your way. You'll notice that it has 5 puncture wounds in its back, and its throat is slit. Its gut is also cut open, so all of the intestines are just hanging out. It's face down in the water, so it's almost gives you this. I guess Krieg, you might recognize it the most. It's almost the jellyfish-like thing with the intestines hanging down out of it, like tendrils that are coming down.
I am going to try and avoid looking at the dead bodies because I'm really not liking this. Are they all like different types of creatures that are dead, or is it just...
All 3 are human. They are wearing these black and red robes.
The same as the workers at the pool?
Pretty close to it, yes.
All right. Starting to think these are the people who don't get their tongues cut out. This is where they end up.
All right. Let's. Do we all agree that if this gets too fucked up, we just get out of here?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of think these might be the guy we're looking for as victims. You know, we could. We might just want to take this guy down because he's an asshole.
I mean,
you're not wrong, but I'm starting to feel like I want to get paid for this.
Also, another thing that we have to factor in this moment is this is the current Duke of Baldur's Gate with a big fucking potential cult thing in their basement.
Maybe we don't want to kill him in his basement, is what Quinn's thinking.
Also, from what I understand, like, this is the favorite son. It's going to be a shame when he dies.
You know, hindsight's
not to me.
funny, but usually hindsight happens after. Come on, Puck, let's just get this done.
Hindsight, nothing. There's 30 more gold coming for this guy's hand.
All right. Well, this I can't think of anything that's going to go wrong. Let's do it.
And besides, if this is what he's doing to people, it's kind of pissing me off.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it either, but I just don't want to get into a fight we can't win.
All right, let's see where it leads us.
So you follow this tunnel down. As you follow it down, the water gets sort of an inclined ramp, so the water gets a little bit shallower, a little bit shallower. Eventually, you go around a corner that turns. I don't know if the orientation is on this north. It turns east, I guess. It would be to your left, though. As you come up, and then up a small rickety pair of stairs up onto dry cobblestones. Here, you'll notice that all the stonework, though, looks quite ancient. Krieg, give me a. That's a good check. I don't know my 5e anymore. Let's see.
History?
Yeah, that would work.
Cool, because that's the one that I get the bonus with. History for stonework from the stone conning. That's with a +4. What is my history? So +3.
I'm going to do a perception check for anything a la traps also while we're going.
It's a total 17 for
nice.
Checking out the stonework.
So look around. This looks like it's pretty old, Krieg. You'd guess maybe 500-600 years old. It's at least all of this work. Here and there, you can see it's been patched up and repaired fairly recently, maybe within the past year or so. Different areas, some of the mortars, new and stuff, but the whole complex itself looks quite old. Straight ahead, as you kind of lead the way, Quinn, still pretty narrow pathway that you're following. Up ahead, you're going to see a heavy wooden door. Looks like it's made of oak, maybe ash, some sort of heavy wood. Iron banding goes across it, and there's just a heavy steel bracket right in the center, like a knocker handle type thing. And that's all that's on it.
All right. I rolled the nat 1 for my check for traps, so you're welcome, Logan.
Beyond this door, you do start to get a very uneasy feeling, Quinn, from your spell. Can't really recognize anything or whatever, but it's very like desecrated, or it's making you very uneasy. Yeah.
Ooh, that's nat 20. Sorry, Quinn. I think I got your 20.
Dusty, I mean, you don't see anything dangerous out and about. You can see that this path is pretty well traveled and, worn down and stuff. It looks like people pass through quite often, but nothing immediately jumps out as dangerous.
I'm going to just, as we're going down, I'm just sort of going to quietly prepare a spell to cast on myself if I feel like someone or something unexpected is at the end of this journey. If that's okay. So I'm just kind of like ready to go.
I'm getting a big feeling of desecration, violence, and terrible things have happened past these doors. That being said, I don't really feel like I want to go first anymore. Anybody else want to lead this?
Yeah.
No.
Krieg will actually, he walks by, puts a hand on Mithra's arm. Don't worry, I'll keep you safe. And unknowingly casts Shield of Faith, which gives a +2 armor class for a total of a minute concentration, unless I cast something else or get hurt.
Very cool.
So, unknowingly does so.
I'm going to take up the rear of the line.
Okay.
Try to.
And then it goes for the door.
Did you cast that on me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Well, I guess I don't know, but, I guess I would sense that. I sense definitely that you did something protective as you walked by.
I think you definitely would. 275. Let me double check. I think there's actually a light that shines. Not necessarily that Krieg would understand that he just did it. I mean, you guys are all magical. Yeah, a shimmering field appears and surrounds a creature of choice within range, granting a +2 bonus to AC for duration. Oh, it should be up to 60 feet. That's not one that's touched.
Thanks, Krieg. You really do have my back.
So I didn't do anything. That glow is pretty amazing, though. Whatever spells you got, that's shiny. And then he goes for the door.
You see, it's just one big iron knocker. When you look at the hinges and kind of glance over, the doorway opens inward, Krieg. If you give it a push or something, it doesn't budge.
Ooh, then
I'll do the talking if it comes to it.
okay. Krieg runs the knocker, or clangs the knocker.
Give it a few clangs, and it's just silence for a moment as this sound of steel on steel echoes down the hallway. And then the door, you can hear the soft click, and it just creaks open on its own. Inside is a small chamber, 10 foot by 10 foot square, sort of hexagonal shaped, though. Every wall in this room is nothing more than stacked bones. The floor itself is made of skulls, and from the ceiling is this constant dripping of blackish and red ichor that drips down, seeping between the cracks in the skulls. There's a hanging chandelier-like monument as well from the ceiling, which is domed about 15 feet above you. The chandelier only hangs down a few feet, but it looks like it's just made all of human bones, femurs, and you can see different legs and arm bones all stitched together. The very center of it is this red orb, which gives light into the room, sort of a pinkish, soft glow, but that red orb just constantly drips with what can only be described as blood. Behind you, this door is going to close as all of you enter. And if you glance over your shoulder, you can see that it has a huge demonic face inscribed into it. To your left is another door. This one has some sort of knighted-like figures face the helm. And directly in front of you is a third door. The face on that one looks almost skeletal with a cowl that's pulled up. If anybody wants to make a religion check on those, you are welcome to.
Yeah, I'll do
I
something
definitely
like that.
would. Oh, awesome.
7.
18 plus 3.
Anybody beat 18? Or what, 21?
Nope, not at all.
You're the religious one of the group, Mithra. So you will recognize the door that you came through was that of Baal, the god of murder. The door to the left of the knighted helm is Bane, the god of tyranny. And directly ahead of you, the skeletal cowled one, is Merkel, the lord of bones.
Sorry, god of murder and god of...
Tyranny, murder, and bones. And directly to you, all of your right, is a simple stairwell that leads down back into this murky water and turns a corner. You get a very uneasy sense in that direction, Quinn, like something bad is whatever and down that open hallway. And just the smell of rot and death just radiates out of that tunnel.
Which doorway, sorry?
It's the open hallway to your right.
To right, and then the Merkel
is straight ahead.
And then the...
Baal is behind you, Baal is behind you, and let me look. Bane is to the left.
Okay. And then if Mithra would tell us that that's what she recognizes those as, I would point out that that is, if I'm not mistaken, the Dead 3.
Yes.
The cult that was doing shit in the prison also.
God, I don't want to go back to prison.
We're not going back to prison.
So the hallway reeks of terrible unevil.
Queen, didn't you say that the fountains were something to do with the Bone Man? The Merkel guy.
It seems like these guys are probably cultists of the Dead 3 or maybe Merkel. Maybe like all the cults come here to hang out and it's like a party called the Death Bath. I don't know. Sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah, this place is not safe.
That being said, if we could get some proof of some kind that Vinholt is supporting this, that would give us a lot of power.
Well, I mean, just from looking around at this, it's already looking quite likely that they got something to do with Alteral.
Yeah. All right, where are we going? We could go Merkel, because that is what that's what Vinholt is associated with, I think, or that's the name we've heard the most. Or we can go down this death hallway.
I say let's check out Merkel.
Anyone have any light, or is this place lit up, or?
Yeah, by this just glowing red orb that drips with blood from the ceiling.
I'm a little more keen to go down the hallway a bit. That way we don't have to open up anything, because that door closed behind us. If I go and grab the knocker that closed behind us, is it open or are we locked in?
Nope, on this side, the mouth of the etched-in figure, or the symbol on the thing, has another knocker, which if you push the door or pull it, it doesn't open, but if you try to knock, it'll open.
Okay, yeah. I'd say maybe the hallway first, just a little peeky peek. That's my vote, though. Obviously, you guys.
Well, I just want to stick with the group, so.
Well, my only concern with the water is, if it's anything like what we went through, all you long stinks are just well and good, but that was up to my bloody armpits.
Well,
Can you swim?
Oh, aye, like a fish.
Not that this is exactly the place where we want to go for a swimming party, but...
This has got to be like some kind of health violation, at the very least.
Yeah, I don't think the health inspector comes down here very often.
All right, hallway or what?
Hallway
All
in
right.
that Merkel.
Okay, let's do it.
We'll take a peek. And
We'll peek,
shield
peek.
things off, swords out, and I guess Krieg will kind of lead the way down.
You will walk forward about 10 feet or so before you have to step down these steps and into this water. And it just keeps going deeper and deeper. Eventually, it's a total of 4.5 feet deep. I don't know how that puts it on you, Krieg.
Yeah, Krieg will have to swim because he is 4.5 feet tall.
All right, maybe we don't go for a little swim in the death water.
As you step down, though, Krieg, it'll put you right at where the corner is. So right around the corner, you can smell the stench and this just absolute, like, rotting meat. And you smell death and decay in your time. And you can hear this scratching sort of sound in the darkness. There's no light beyond that. You do have some dark vision, though. Let's see.
Yep.
What can you see?
Yeah, 60 feet.
Okay, so around the corner, and if you look, you will see that in this room beyond, it's not very big, 20 by 20 foot room, but there's 3 big pillars. Each one looks like it's made of bones, and again, it just seeps and it drips with this blackish red ichor down into the water that seems to sort of, almost like oil on top of water, skims across the top of it. And beyond that, you will see that there is a large altar on the back far wall. It's just out of your vision, so you can sort of see the shape of it. And you can see this demonic-looking skull that's on top of it, but you can't really make much more than that out.
No ping on my detect good and evil for fiends or undead or something?
Are you going down into the water?
I'm going to follow behind him, I think. Just as, like, I think that's the marching order. I'm right behind him.
So, yeah, if you go down with him, then yes, you're going to... There's definitely some undead down here. And a very heavy demonic radiation.
All right,
That
so
doesn't look so pleasant. And it smells like the back room of a meat house.
Remember, we're just looking for one guy.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to find altars of shit, just one guy.
Agreed. That is the smartest thing that my brother has said in the last who knows how long. Let's go check out the door. You know, just get a lay of the land before we commit to anything.
So much for smelling like a rose garden. I think I smell of that rotten crap. Oh, I was fancy for a bit, though.
As both of you come out of this water, you'll notice this oily, blood-like substance seems to cling to your clothes and stuff. Both of you, I need Constitution saving throws.
Makes sense.
Is this for poison?
No, it is not.
No, okay. Yeah, I was just curious because I have advantage against that.
I'm going to spend my inspiration.
I've got total 18. 15
Fucking
plus
hell.
3.
Total of 10.
Malachi, Krieg, you are good. Quinn, not so much. As you come out, you can maybe wipe some of this off or something, but it just seems to stick to you, this smell constantly getting into your nose and making you gag. It almost feels like it's just sapping your energy. Take 1 point of exhaustion, Quinn. And the more you walk, the more it just seems to stick to you. You can feel it in between your clothes. It gets in the crevices of your fingers and the corners of your skin, just constantly nagging and almost just draining you of energy. And who's opening the door?
I'll go to open the door. Passing by though, kind of reaches over and taps Quinn. Oh, come on, man. Or come on, ma'am. You can get it. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. And casts off the cantrip of resistance, which lets you add a D4 to your saving throws. Which ends, I mean, it's probably been more than a minute, so I think the spell on Mithra is probably gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, again, can last up to a minute. So it's a D4 to saving throws, Quinn.
Krieg, didn't know that you had casting capabilities.
What the hell are you talking about? And he goes for the door.
You can add a D4 to that, see if it makes you pass or not, Quinn.
The what? The saving throw?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Boost me up to a total of 12.
Nope, not quite. So 1 point of exhaustion. As you step forward, Krieg, again, it's just that big iron handle that it looks like there's no other way to do anything besides knock. Hit it a few times. It just echoes around you. A few seconds pass. Soft click, and the door just clicks open. It doesn't swing open or do anything, just opens up an inch or two. In here, Quinn, you just have immediate radars going off that this is not going to be good either. You get the sense of undeath mostly.
All right. Yeah, this is not a happy place, guys. In case anyone was confused.
Well, I guess we're already here. May as well see what's up there.
We're right behind you.
And Creek goes through.
Push this door open. It's a simple little hallway that leads about 10 feet into a room. Sconces line the wall, 6 of them in total. All of them lit and giving off this eerie reddish orange glow. You can see shadows dancing along the walls. Besides being mostly empty, you see that there's 3 pale bodies, all naked, strewn across the floor, just covered in huge gash marks across their bodies. But they're arranged in this strange triangular sort of formation, all of their heads in the center and their feet stretched out, one sort of in each point of a triangle. Their hands are crossed over their chest, and their feet are, all of their feet are nailed down to the floor. Right in the center of them, right between the center of all of their heads, there's another one more taller sconce with a lit torch in it. There's a staircase to the left into another torch-lit chamber.
I think we might have found who we're looking for. There's only one reason to light a torch. Let's see where it goes.
Does that spell, Quinn, tell you where there's undead, or does it just detect it?
Let me pull up the exact wording on it. Ba-ba-bum. So for the duration, which is 10 minutes, you know if there are the blah, 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 blah within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. Similarly, if there's a place or object within the area, you'd also know if it's desecrated or consecrated.
Okay.
Yeah, I know their location.
So yes, all 3 of these bodies give off an undeath aura, and the sconce that's right in the center seems to be some sort of power point for them, or some sort of desecrated object.
Yeah, those dead guys might not be. They're undead.
Well, they're fucking nailed to the ground, though. I mean, like, what are they gonna do? Stand up and fucking swing? Like, come on, we'll go around.
Just saying, don't get close to them, maybe.
Oh, okay. Right.
I just had a really funny image pop in my head. If they wake up, get my feet, and Creek, does a move like he's falling forward. Oh, that's priceless.
He's a weird motherfucker.
Get my feet, you get it? He starts heading towards the torchlight.
Nice. Get within about 10 feet, and you can see one of the bodies twitches a little bit, Krieg. Another one twitches, and almost like they're having a little bit of spasms. They're not flailing about wildly or anything, but they're twitching, almost like nervous twitches. Legs, an arm here, the head snaps to the side.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't go to that torch.
We need to get up those stairs, though.
Can we walk around it?
Not without going right past the bodies. It's only a 15-foot square room.
All right. Fuck.
I say we try to stay out of their reach. Like I said, they're nailed to the ground. It's we'll just try to walk past them.
Yeah. Show the way.
Krieg will kind of go moving by, leave enough room behind him, but kind of stand out, shield facing them or facing the dead bodies to kind of let everybody skirt past him.
Dodge action, and I'll go by.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of using the shield like a blocking wall.
I'll say, Quinn, are you going past him first?
Why not?
All right.
I think technically I'd be going most of the way past first to get the shield up in the way.
Yeah. So you're trying to go like kind of halfway in between them and the stairway?
Yeah.
Okay.
And use the shield to block so everybody can cut behind me to go around them.
All right. So yeah, as you're walking a little bit closer and a little bit, each moment you get a little bit closer, Krieg, you can see that they start to spasm, shake a little bit more violently. About halfway, when you get your shield up, you see the stomach of each one of these three just burst apart and all of these intestines come out. We will enter initiative there then.
Oh, shit.
It didn't work out the way I wanted it to.
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all.
Oh, nice. There's a 15 for initiative.
Oh, no, I got cards.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Nope, I got you. So yeah, Krieg, as you get about halfway and all of you enter this room, you can see the bodies start to spasm, shake a little bit, and straight down from their upper chest, right down to their lower abdomen, it'll split open. The intestines that rip out, almost are scaled looking. You can see these small little fanged maws at the end of these tubular intestines. They begin gnashing. You can see eyeballs within these swimming around. And it's almost they take the little bit of a humanoid shape as they start to lurch forward as they pull themselves out of these bodies.
Oh.
Up first, Quinn. There's three of these things.
Is reluctantly, or like, just out of thought, maybe try drawing the symbol that they did on my head, like doing the same thing to see if it'll like deactivate them. Although I don't think that's gonna work.
Yeah, it doesn't even. They seem almost mindless, if anything.
All right, then fuck it. Let's back up. Are they on me or?
If you're in the room, then yeah, they would be within reach of you.
All right. I don't really care for that, to be honest. So I'm going to back up and disengage and try to. There's no way I can put myself somewhere in the room where they can't reach me.
No, because they're right in the center, and they have reach all the way around the room. And actually, as you take a few steps back, when you can feel your back press up against the door behind you that closed.
All right, fuck it. Ray Frost. Well, natural 20. Holy shit, I accidentally double-clicked, and I just wasted 2 natural 20s.
Oh, shit. That's dope, though.
Obviously a hit.
Yeah.
Nobody needs inspiration, though.
Except for myself, but I can't give it to myself, eh?
Nope.
11 damage in total.
Nice. This is Frost coats one of these slimy, tentacle-driven, undead intestinal monster things. And it'll almost let out this high-pitched squealing sound when it hits. Anything else?
That will do. Yeah.
That'll do. And your back's going to be right up to the door behind you, but they're still within reach. Mithra, you are up.
All right. Are they coming at me or?
They're all sort of knotted together right in the center of the room, but they look offensive. Yeah, they're coming at you. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just checking this one spell that I have. I'm just curious if there's a level 2 to it. Give me 1 second here. Oh, I guess not. I'm gonna hurl chromatic orb at them, and before I do that, can I like and see if there's anything they're weak against?
You can give me like a.
So I don't use the wrong.
Right. My guess is you've never would have seen these things. Besides what they look like, yeah, there's not anything you really see.
All right, I'm gonna hit them with lightning.
All right. Is it I believe it's a ranged attack roll?
Yes. Okay. 17.
That is a hit. Damage?
1d8.
For chromatic orb? Should be 3d6, I think.
3d8, sorry. 3d8. Lightning damage this time. So, 8. I'm having a great roll night tonight. 7. And 4. So, I guess I can just... Do I have to pick certain ones to aim at, or...?
Nope, they're all sort of knotted together into this.
Okay. So yeah, 8, 7, and 4.
Gotcha. Next, Malachi. You are up. You can see this blast goes across them. Bits and pieces get flung off, but they all just keep intertwining with each other. Just this massive intestines. The smell of rotting meat, the smell of fecal matter just starts to get overwhelming. Ammonia and intestinal fluids.
This isn't why we're supposed to be here. And I'll send in an Eldritch Blast. If they're all muddled together, I'm going to try to use the blast, center it in a way where I'm going to try to blow them apart with my hellish, or with my Eldritch Blast invocation.
Gotcha.
So that is a 12 to hit.
12 misses.
All right, so basically I'm just so disgusted by it that my Eldritch Blast veers wide and just yell, "We should just fucking hurry!"
This cacophony. You can see now and then some of these intestines reach out, almost making humanoid-like arms and shapes with them. And they are up next. As all of you are actually within range, you can see these appendages lash out from this knotty mass of intestines right in the center of the room. As one comes towards you, Krieg, you can see it knots up, and all these bone spurs just come shooting out of it, almost shaping out like a mace as it swings in. So this one's on you, Krieg. Oh, I don't know what they got for a plus. 23. I'm assuming that hits.
Yeah, that just makes it.
5, 10, 13 points of damage as it comes smashing in on you, Krieg. Next one, I'll just do randomly to see who gets it. One would be Quinn. This one's on you. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 on you, Quinn.
I was going to say, is Quinn within 5 feet?
Yes.
Yeah. Shield goes out to give disadvantage protection reaction ability. Or my reaction for protection. It gives them disadvantage.
Gotcha. In that case, a nat 1 is not going to do it for her, so you will save her. Mm-hmm. And the last one is going to be on to Mithra.
Oh, shit.
And that would be a 12, 17, which I'm pretty sure hits.
Ouch.
Oh, yep.
Sorry, I only got one reaction around.
15 points of damage on you, Mithra.
Dang.
Jesus.
Guys, we came to the wrong place.
You'll see these appendages just striking out all across the room. As the three smash into you, a fourth one just launches up from the center of this up towards the ceiling, and it hits that and just explodes, and all these crawling like veins across the roof, the ceiling of this chamber, as the whole thing starts to lift itself off the ground by this strand of intestines hanging down. Inside, you can see mouths start to form, teeth, eyes within the center of this thing, as everything's just sort of melding together. Mad Krieg, you are up last.
All right. Yeah, Krieg, despite getting kind of ripped and shredded by those bone spurs and everything, almost seems to be enjoying himself. Smile kind of parts his lips. Shield comes up and he just barrels in there with the blade. Come on, you fucks! Let's do this! As he rushes into the battle. 12, that's going to be a total of 17.
That hits.
Yeah. Oh, where's my 8? So D8 plus 3. It's going to be 9 damage. And I think if I can, I also want to blow my action surge for a second strike. I've not had a good fight in days! It's 18 plus 5, 23. That second one.
Ooh, that hits too.
And that one's only 7 damage. Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Your swords will slash into this thing, just taking out huge chunks, bits and pieces of it, hitting the ground. You'll be able to sever this main tendril that will start to lift it up as the whole thing just splatters across the floor. You can see a few lashing intestines and stuff still alive, thrashing about. Did you do anything else?
No, that's about it. I think he's just going to kind of circle movement kind of circle around to try and keep himself kind of in between everybody else in the tentacle thingies.
All right.
Just laughing the whole way.
Quinn, you are up then as this thing flails about on the ground.
All right, dodging and dipping around the whipping tentacles, I will shoot out another ray of frost in 21 to hit for a total of 7 damage.
Nice. This whole thing is going to get encased in this frost and this coating of ice as you hit it. Bits and pieces falling apart as it just smashes to the ground those last couple of feet as it gets severed from its strands. Everything will go still in the center of this. Behind you, Krieg, at just the last second, you hear this crunch. You'll turn to see a figure standing just behind you, the mace coming in, a couple bones crunched under his foot. He's quite large, quite heavily built. He wears this white porcelain mask, a black hand encased on the side of it, and a huge-ass flail that comes flinging in at you.
I think that might almost give Krieg a little actual memory flashback from previously. It's not the first time someone has snuck up behind him with a mace.
No, it is not. And he's got 16, 20 to hit. 6. Going to take 6 points of regular damage and 8 points of necrotic damage.
Ooh. Damn, that hurt.
And you will see this sort of greenish black glow just radiating off the sky, this smell of death. You can hear this grunt underneath. He's mostly encased in what looks to be leathers at first, Krieg, until you get a little bit of a closer look as the flail comes smashing in. You others will see him come up behind Krieg as well. But he's actually wearing the stitched together skins of, looks like people. It's wrapped around his body. Up next, Mithra. He is in the hallway right behind Krieg, so you don't have reach of him. Unless you have some sort of range to get past into. Oops, you muted.
Sorry. I am looking at... Sorry, I'm trying to see what the longest range... I have 120 feet.
Oh, yeah. He's only 15 feet away from you.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try and hit him with Firebolt.
Alright, go for it.
Alright. What do I add to this again? Sorry, my spell casting ability?
Your plus spell attack, which probably plus 5 or 6. I'm not sure which
6.
would be.
So 15.
15 misses.
Oh, I'm sorry, Krieg.
Anything else?
I guess, is there only just the one that's gotten Krieg down? Or are
Yeah,
we being...
yeah, you got rid of that thing in the center. It's just this guy behind Krieg in the hallway. It's actually sort of a stairwell that's starting to go down into another room. You don't see anybody else back there, but you can't really see back there very well either.
Can I move away, or will I be at a disadvantage for him to attack me?
Nope, he can't attack you, but you're basically just caught in this small little 15 by 15 square room. You're already back up as far as you can go.
Okay, then that's all I can do. I'm sorry, Krieg.
Malachi, you are up next.
Get him, Malachi.
Fucking mute button. Okay, Malachi, so you said that in this hallway, Krieg has basically blocked the way to this guy?
Yeah.
Seeing this large oddity swinging at my companion, yeah, I guess I'm just going to, what the hell? And I'm going to throw an Eldritch Blast beam from my left hand at him, see if that hits, and then, oh, that's a nat 20.
That'll hit. Do you want to give inspiration to somebody?
I'll give it to Chris. Quinn will get inspiration.
Your brother's just so awesome. He inspires you.
That
He's
is
inspiring, dude.
6 damage, and he's blasted back about 10 feet. Noticing how much damage, like obviously that's probably not going to be a lot of damage, but will it at least blow this guy back, or does he still look quite stoic?
He doesn't get a saving throw, right?
No.
No. So yeah, it'll still blow him back, but he's going to be on his feet still. Yes.
Realizing that this might be more of a challenge, Malachi is going to say under his breath, "I need something. I need help. He's too big." And then that'll end my turn.
All right. End of that round. Up first is this guy. Again, Krieg. He's just going to charge forward. This huge flail coming around. But you see he holds up a hand.
Did I get skipped in that round, or was that the same round that he...
That's the same round. Yeah,
Okay,
that was the same round.
Gotcha.
He'll hold up this huge flame with his right hand, but he's going to hold up his left hand and draw this line down his face. I need wisdom saving throws from everybody.
13?
13 is good. Oops, you're muted, Malachi.
13 here as well.
You're good. Mithra and Quinn.
10.
You are not good. And how about Mithra?
Sorry, I was muted. 18?
18, you are good. So just you, Quinn, you are going to be... Yeah. Do. You're going to have to cower in fear for a round, Quinn. And then his attack on you, Krieg. 15 and 3, 10, 20.
Damn,
sure
yep.
hits. Flail's going to do only 3 points and 8 points of necrotic again.
Yep, that's enough. I am down.
And with that, he will come up and just kind of step on your bodies. He's looking to come across it as he was just charging right in and going towards this room. To Malachi, you are up as this guy's just charging into the room. Steps over top of Krieg's body, heavy boots into the floor. Take one death tick, Krieg, as he's just going to stomp you onto the floor as he goes by.
Watching all of this happen in front of me, Malachi's anger is starting to skyrocket. His sweat's beating down his forehead, Anger's coming over his face. His eyes start to go a little bit black. And before he even really understands what's happening, this giant black obsidian-looking, wonderfully carved great axe spurts from his hands. And it basically just kind of stuns him. Malachi's just shocked out of his anger, and he's looking at this great axe, and he looks back at this creature and back at this great axe, and he starts to rush in. Since that took my action, basically all Malachi is going to do is going to impose himself directly in front of this creature with this giant great axe and try to be as menacing, as threatening as possible, even though this thing is twice the size of me, probably. I'm not going to take an action or another action or anything. I'm just going to stand there and take up the whole hallway as I possibly can.
All right. So yeah, he'll come rushing into you. Up next, Krieg. I need a death save.
Right. So the death save. Oh yeah, 18. So that's a success.
You are.
And I think if I can, going to do second wind to spike up some hit points.
You actually cannot do that while unconscious.
No. Oh, that's right. Shit, that's right. I think that was a thing.
Yep.
That's right. Never mind. Pass my death save.
All right. Somebody can save you, Ken. Quinn, you cower down in fear, but out of the corner of her eye, you can see this mass of intestines and bodily internal organs in the center of the room that you froze. Bits and pieces start to thaw out. You can see this black ichor wrapping around them. They start to smooth and wiggle a little bit. You can see that Krieg's blood pooling across the floor seems to be giving these things a bit more life as they start to wiggle and writhe like a mass of worms in the center of the room. Mithra, you are up.
All right. So now we got something coming up from the center of the room again?
Yep, all those intestines look like they're starting to wake back up again, fed by Krieg's lovely blood.
Can I go over to Krieg and, like, wrap his stop the blood flow, or no?
You can do a medicine check, which might help stabilize him, too.
Ooh. I think you're going to be all right, Krieg. 16 plus 2, so 18.
Oh, yeah. So you will be stabilized, Krieg.
And now the blood has stopped flowing. So I'm going to cast...
That would be an action unless you have something to do as a bonus action.
Oh, okay. Not really sure what I can do as a bonus action. I guess I'm just gonna stay over by Krieg and kind of... He's still unconscious, or is he...
Yep, for 1d4 rounds, which he can roll if he would like. Or hours, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody can do something to
I'm
heal him
gonna...
up.
I mean, I do have a potion. Can I give him a potion?
Yeah, you can give him a potion.
I have a potion of... I have 2, actually. I'll give him a potion of healing. Not quite sure what that gives him, but...
1d6 plus 1.
Do I roll?
Either one of you. Your choice.
Do you want me to roll, Krieg?
Hell yeah, roll it up.
All right. I'm having good rolls tonight. Sorry, 1d6 plus...
1.
Or 8. Ooh, 4. So 5. Did my best.
Awesome, thank you.
There we go. So Krieg's back up. He's not bleeding anymore. So these things shouldn't hopefully be continuing to get enraged. Come on, Malachi.
All right. Quinn, you would be up, but you are cowering in fear, but that was only that round. So you are...
So it lasts 2 rounds?
Nope, just that round. Your card was at the end. I was just using... The other thing was on your turn. I just used you as the puppet. End of round, new round. Malachi, you were up first. You can see this massive internal organs rising in the middle of the room. This man standing over top of Krieg, right in front of you.
With Malachi's Pact of the Blade with his fiend, he was able to raise this greatsword out of his hands. And whatever weapon he raises out of his hands, he is proficient with. So I am going to take a giant... I'm going to wind up this great axe that I've never really wielded or even have any idea on how to wield, but I'm like, it's in my hands, I'm swinging it, motherfucker! And I'm going to try to hack away. I'm trying to look for the damage dice. Hold on. Great sword. I got it written down. Great axe. There it is. 1d12 for damage. Attack is a d20. And my d20 is right there. All right. So, oh, that's nice. That's a 17 to hit.
That hits.
And 1d12 is right there. As it rolls all across my floor and lands on 2. So that's 2 damage. And then I'll just look at him and I'll say, "You're fat and ugly, motherfucker!" I'm trying to taunt him and get him to react to me only and nobody else in the room.
So your axe smashes into his face. You can see some of this porcelain mask that he's wearing shatters a little bit. Underneath, you can just see rotting flesh and bone. Up next, Mithra.
Alright, this time I'm gonna aim a magic missile at level 2 at this cluster of whatever the fuck is rising or stirred up by the blood. So I think that's an auto hit, but now it's 4d4 damage plus 1.
Gotcha.
Alright, so 5, 4, 2, and 5.
Nice as these blast into it. It still writhes, wiggles a little bit on the floor as you just splatter this thing into bits and pieces all across the wall, across the cobblestones. Quinn, you are up. Let's see. Malachi ahead of you, facing off against this guy. Krieg is starting to stand up in the middle of the room. This mass of organs is starting to move and shake a little bit, but Mithra put it down for the most part, but it's still wiggling a little.
All right. Coming out of my temporary fear, I snap to and begin performing somatic gestures, forming my hand in a claw, focusing my energy towards a loose bone fragment, and then I will thrust the bone fragment, casting Catapult at the big dickhead. He needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
16.
He passes, so he takes half of 16 bludgeoning damage as the bone comes flying at him. It's a big femur.
Nice. Smashes in, just tears a chunk of his midsection out, and underneath it's just rotting flesh and bone. Is whatever this thing is. It's just an undead creature of some sort, but you're blowing it apart. Anything else?
Nah.
Yeah, right. In the center of this small wiggling mass, you see a lash out towards you, Quinn. I need a dexterity saving throw.
All right, bring it on. I roll fucking hell, a natural one.
Hey, that gives me a point of inspiration, too.
You're welcome.
You can see these 3 tendrils stretch out. One will hit you in the leg, another one in the shoulder, one in the palm of your hand that you had stretched out, and it just digs right into your flesh. Almost instantly, you can feel some of your energy being sucked out. Take 1 point of bleeding damage.
Oh, good. That's not so bad.
This blood just seems to seep down, starts getting pumped into this thing. And that would have been good, but it gets a 1d4 for each tendril. So I'll take another one, and another, so 3 points of damage total.
Less nice.
All right. Next up, this guy that's standing face to face with you, Malachi. It doesn't really... It knows you're there, but it doesn't really seem to react much to your movement or do anything. Oh, 13 plus 4, 17.
That'll hit me if he's going for it.
Yep. 12 points of regular damage, 8 points of necrotic.
Perfect. And as he does that, my reaction kicks in. Hellish Rebuke. So, now that I cast everything at level 2, that's 3d10 that I get to smack this guy with.
Go for it.
Of fire damage. That's 9. Ooh, that's 10. There's 19. Come on, baby. 19 and 7 is 26 damage from Hellish Rebuke fire. As he hits me and hurts me, and the blood is pouring from Malachi, this great fire starts to spin all around him and engulfs this creature and creates 26 damage.
That will wipe it out. As it just engulfs in flame and drops to the floor, this huge, bulking, undead thing just smoldering in flames. Krieg, you are up. This mass in the center of the room just seems to continue feeding off of this blood that was pouring off of Malachi now. These tendrils that are locked in on Quinn getting bigger. You can see, once again, these intestines start to form these mace-like bone shards. Mouths start to open up.
Shit, that the big guy's still standing, or?
Nope, he is down. He's gone. Yeah.
Nice. All right, then. Man, I think... All right, so first, as he's rushing in, he's going to blow that second wind. Get that HP back. Oh, fuck yeah. Is that 8 plus 3? So I got 11 back. That's awesome.
Nice.
All right, yeah, but he's going to charge forward, going to attempt to kind of cleave through those intestinal worm things that are latched onto Quinn, just to get them to stop feeding on him.
Go for it.
So yeah, he's just gonna bellow his way in. Ah! And I think I'm actually gonna save the rage since big guy's gone. Ooh, how does a 14 look total?
I think that was a hit. Let me go flip back. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was gonna use that inspiration if not. Oh shit, yeah. 7. That's gonna be total 10 damage.
Quickly sever these strands that are still stuck to Quinn off as you slice into this thing, just huge chunk being peeled off. Still a little bit of a wiggling mass, but that's the end of that round. That guy is dead. And last round. Up first, Krieg, you are up first again.
Oh, nice. Yeah, then chopping back into that thing in the middle. Bellowing and laughing the whole way through. Oh, shit, yeah. I rolled an 18, so that's me a total 23.
Totally. And it only has 3 hit points, which I think you do automatically, at least anyway.
Oh, yeah, I do minimum 4 damage.
So it is dead. Go ahead and describe what you do.
Yeah, so he kind of cuts in as these tentacles, the John Carpenter pink Wrigley's flipping around, kind of splits in through a couple of those before spinning the blade and just plunging it deep into the center of the mass, kind of with a laugh. Ha 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 ha! If there was a way to play the fighting like this, I would fucking do it!
You can hear this squelch and this almost soft screaming sound as you bury your blade into it. It'll writhe a little bit before everything just goes limp and the bodies just lie there. Intestines still hanging out of them and this knot in the center of the room.
I'll raise my great axe and I'll bring it down on the left arm of this giant creature to cut off and sever its hand. And as soon as I do, the great axe disappears. And I'll reach down and grab the left hand of this creature.
All right, hear me out, guys. We should get the fuck out of here.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Let's go get our money.
I want to pull the mask aside and see, is this guy thing have a face?
So this thing, as you step down and you take a look at this thing, it looks to be some sort of stitched together abomination. It is completely undead, just rotting pieces of limbs and muscle and sinew all put together. The face itself is, again, just a patchwork of one part of a face stitched to another, stitched to another. It's just some sort of undead zombie abomination thing.
Oh, fuck. Malachi, I don't think it's him.
You sure? Maybe this is a setup. Maybe this is the guy's brother.
This looks like 7 or 8 different people kind of put together like I sewed it.
He did
I'm
say
not a
his brother.
seamstress.
He did say his brother would be down here screwing around with some girls, and I don't think any girls are attracted to this fucking thing. But I'm not letting go of this hand until we know.
Oh yeah, just in case.
I think we stumbled onto something larger than we were ready for. I think we need to go back and, if we're going to tackle this, find some help.
Let's just try to get our money, and if not, let's kill the fucker for doing this to us.
Indeed.
This stairway that you're in, Krieg, where this thing had dropped, it leads into a separate room in the distance, but it's right in front of you. So I guess the others can't really see it unless they got past you. But as you look up, you can just see this huge pile of bones. Everything is knitted together with muscle and sinew and dried intestines and flesh. But it sort of makes up what looks to be a body that is hung from its feet upside down from the ceiling. But it's, again, the bones are like all different bones, sort of stitched together to create this image. And it hangs from the ceiling by intestines itself, old, dried, intertwined and braided intestines, slowly swinging back and forth. Behind it, you can see this huge emblazoned brass image that is attached to the wall of this cowl-hooded skeletal figure. And from its mouth, it's just this constant pumping of blood into this large basin.
Fuck. I think he kind of passes word on along, to everybody about what he's looking at.
And you see, let me see how many. 12 hands all floating in the basin.
Well, fuck. For a minute there, I was feeling pretty good, like really good. Kind of like I was blessed. Like the fight was like charging me up. But that's some fucked up shit right there, fellows.
Yeah, I think
you're right.
Do a little tactical retreat, and we come back more prepared with some help. We know that the Hell Riders are goody two-shoe assholes, so maybe we can find one of them to help us out with this. This is clearly some evil, demonic shit or devilish shit, so I don't think we'll have a hard time convincing those dickheads to give us a hand.
I think you're right. I think we should come back with help. This seems like a bad place for us to be.
I want to go talk to Eustace. I'm fucking pissed.
Right? And plus, Malachi's got that one that's following him around, giving him the eyes all the time.
Yeah.
So there's a Hell Rider we can show right there. You can give her your hand.
Let's head back to the bloody dump.
Yep. This is enough for me today. We almost had... You almost died, Krieg.
It's not like it's the first time. I'm telling you, I feel really good, though.
Yeah,
I feel empowered.
You looked empowered, and you casted some magic on us, so we're going to have to talk about that later.
No, that's crazy talk right there. I'm mad. I'm not crazy.
Just to add a little bit of intrigue to that detect evil or good spell that Quinn let out. If you were searching for fiends, your brother would have been lit the fuck up.
Yeah, I imagine that's not too surprising. Yeah, maybe it is. Like, you're a fiend, or you're saying you just have fiendish energy around you?
I would say that there's a massive amount of fiendish energy around me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be impressed about it, but knowing that you're a warlock, I would be making a mental note for sure.
I don't know how long I was passed out, but did you see that huge fucking axe that Malachi had? I don't even know where you hide a thing like that. That was impressive.
Me neither, man. I just wanted it and it came into my hands. It was cool.
That's amazing.
I hope I can do that again.
Me too.
All right, shall we get the fuck out before the inevitable company that's down here figures out that we're down here?
You might have to cover me on the way up. I'm pretty fucking bloody, but let's go.
Yeah.
Return.
Maybe we can take another bath.
Oh, God.
Probably not a good idea.
My fancy clothes are fucked.
Okay,
So,
we can wash them.
Everybody's so optimistic. As you turn, Quinn, to this door, you realize there's no handle. There's nothing there. Just this heavy wooden door. It doesn't pull. It doesn't budge. It doesn't do anything. But there is this scrawling letterwork that's being sort of carved into it as you watch, carving across the wooden frame of the door. It takes a few moments to finish writing, but it says, "Leave your left to fix the right, drop the right to take what's left."
Oh shit, the fountain full of fucking hands.
Well, I'm not
That's
leaving a
fucking
hand
clever.
here.
That was out of character, sorry. No, that's fucking clever though, that's great.
So repeat what the door said.
Leave your left to fix the right, to drop the right to take what's left. And I think that's a perfect spot to end it for the evening.
Perfect.
I want this left hand. Fuck.
Right? Well, I don't think that left hand counts. Like,
Well, if I want
cut off
what's
our
left,
left hands.
if I want what's left, I have to take my right. So if I
Yeah,
want